$1,300 that you can see.
Yes, and it is the bugbear that you can't see. That's the problem. Kind of like alligators. It's not the ones you can see. It's the ones you can't.
Sound advice. So, since we're all here and assembled thusly, let's scroll with this recap real quick. Last session began within the Bent Bucket Inn and Tavern, the party stirring as dawn's rays reach over Brightwood. The party eventually meanders down to the tavern's main floor for some breakfast and maybe hair of the dog. It is here Blade and Gladier take the time to wander to a few back rooms in search of some lost coin and some of Blade's lost company from the night prior. The encounter, however, goes poorly for them. A sleep spell and a bit of a hefty bribe later, the party finishes their breakfast and readies themselves for another day's travel. Outside, the party encounters a rather snobbish royal courier awaiting Blade. After an exchange that did not go so well for the snobby elf, nonetheless, the party finds themselves accepting an invitation to the local lord's royal hall. Lord Svelison, enamored with tales of Blade's stirring performances, convinces the party, to be his guests for the evening, and furthermore convinces Blade to perform at a private dinner party later that same evening. Blade delivers yet another stunning performance at this dinner party to a crowd of high elven nobles and aristocrats, the party gleaming much information during this time through a bit of rumors and eavesdropping. The following morning, the well-fed and rested party begins to gather their things and prepare for a journey to Silurin. It is at this time screams cry out from the distance. The ever-alert and astute elves, fully armored and armored, flow swiftly from the royal hall towards an unknown conflict. Smoke can be seen coming from the area in question, and the sounds of battle can be heard. It is here, as the party prepares for conflict, that an unfamiliar war horn trumpets loudly. Looking about, the party sees an armed unit of bugbears, one of many that begin raiding the settlement, kicking in doors, cutting people down, hauling them off in manacles or large chain sacks. And that is where we are now. So I'll drop a pic in the feed, and let's start by everybody rolling some initiative.
So 15 for me.
9 for Blade.
10.
Okay, I got Renwick at 15, and call him out one more time. What'd you guys get?
Lokris got a nat 20 for 22. I got a 10. Blade got a 9. And Logus hasn't said his yet. 25. Damn.
Oh, you guys, he specifically labeled all of our mounts, which means he wholeheartedly intends to kill at least a couple of them.
Why did you even say that?
Because you know he planned it. I just wanted to to go ahead and take the shock value out so that you guys don't feel even worse when it happens.
Well, it's a good thing Logus didn't name his newest one.
Play dead.
We're all in favor of just quitting the campaign if Gigabraltar dies, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Oh man, I didn't even think about this. Wow.
You guys are funny. I'm laughing over here off mic. With initiative kind of rolling out, Logos, no big surprise. You are kind of first to act in this situation. You pick up what is happening a bit before everyone else. What languages do you speak? Or rather, instead of giving me a list, does Logos speak Goblin?
Let me double check. No, he does not.
So on the maps that I had kind of provided, there is a brown and a yellow stone. One of these bugbears, the brown stone, is significantly bigger than all of the others. Not only that, but he looks to be scarred up. His face is scarred up, his hands, his knuckles, his chest, bare and kind of exposed. He wields a large shield and a particularly gruesome looking blade, and he calls out in Goblin and points directly at you, Logos. He calls out in Goblin and says something you don't understand, and it seems like that's as far as you know, since you don't speak Goblin.
So a question about the map. These are these buildings that we're next to the blocked off areas?
Correct. They the white kind of like I guess rectangles or whatever would represent doorways. The blue ones would represent like windows. But yeah, you could certainly like enter a homestead or something if you would like, if that's a
How
climb on
tall
top
are
of
the
it.
buildings?
They are pretty standard height. Some of them are single story, some of them are doubles, 2 stories, but you're looking somewhere between 12 and 20 feet, depending on the building.
Okay. So Logis, he's going to first probably take a shot off at the big guy that just pointed at him. So yeah, that's gonna be my first.
Okay, give me an attack roll.
That first one. Damn, I don't have this shit up yet. That first one's an 18 to hit.
18 hits.
Second is a 24 to hit. And
Also
the third
hits.
is 17 to hit.
17 would be the magic number, so all 3 hit.
Okay. So that's gonna be 8 points on the first one, 14 points on the second one, and 12 points on the third.
Okay, yeah, all 3 land true, and as all 3 kind of bury like straight into this thing's chest, it looks down at them and then back to you with a scowl.
And then I am going to move towards the closest building to me, the big square one, and I'm gonna wild shape my bonus action wild shape into a baboon and start trying to climb up using the footstools because baboons have a climbing speed of 30 feet.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and give me an athletics check to kind of determine how quickly you scale this building.
Would you allow acrobatics?
Yeah, I'd say the alleyway between the two buildings is close enough there. If you wanted to try to like parkour up, you could do some acrobatics, but it might cost a little more movement.
That is a 13 plus 5 for 18.
And with that, as you transform in mid-run, you make your way to the top of this, what appears to be someone's domicile. A decent-sized family home. One story, but yeah, you find yourself about 12 feet in the air, just on the edge of this building.
Okay, and if that's all my movement, well, that's my turn. Lucas would kind of like, if he's still hanging on the building, just kind of like duck into it a little bit, try to give himself a little bit cover while he's hanging there.
And with that, Locris, you are next to act.
All right. So Locris, seeing that grouping of 5 to his left and a little bit behind, is going to take his mace and smash it against the shield. And you're going to see a sound just reverberate out as he casts Shatter at 4th level. Should be able to pinpoint it to where I get all 5 in a 10-foot radius.
Locris, as you go to cast Shatter, a bugbear wearing several, like, what appear to be like avian skulls around its neck, in a very subservient kind of like motion to the chieftain. It reaches out with some sort of arcane energy and counterspells you.
Counterspell.
You counterspell this creature's counterspell, and it looks back to its master, and the master kind of he looks disapproving and like goes to, as if he's going to backhand this particular bugbear who flinches and recoils.
Sorry, fuckers.
Okay, go ahead and hit me. What do you need from me for Shatter?
Constitution saving throw DC 17.
And what's the range on Shatter? Can you position it to get all 5, you think?
Well, it says 10-foot radius from a point I set, and it's within 60 feet of me. So looking at it with that grouping, I should be able to place it right, pretty much between, say, 2 and 3 and hit all 5.
So with that, I got 3 fails and 2 passes.
All right. Passes are half damage. And since it's at 4th level, that ends up being 5d8. For a total of 32 for the fail, 16 for the saves. That was some nice rolls from the Avery right there.
Locris, you full-blown just explain to me how the shatter spell takes out like the front line of these soldiers. With that, you waste the first 3 of these bugbears. Like you completely obliterate them.
So as he smacks them base against the shield, you just see a reverberation coming out from that middle. And as he goes to counterspell, Locris flips him off, expending his counterspell from his ring. And so you just watch as it shoots out, and the two who save just get that doubled over look. And you other three, you could just see coughing up blood as their internal organs just exploded.
As these corpses hit the ground and the ones behind them kind of recoil as well. Anything else you need to do there, Locris? Any movement or anything?
Yeah, I'm going to start charging at those two.
And with 30 feet of movement, you can get right up to them.
All right, and that'll end the turn.
Well, moving on down a little bit is actually the Bugbear soldiers. So, first two, Bugbear 1 and 2, are going to make attacks on Locris since he presented himself thusly. I'm looking at a dirty 20 and a 24 to hit.
All right. So 24 definitely hits. Dirty 20 just hits.
So as these two bugbears just kind of tee off on you with these massive maces that they wield, one hits you from one angle and the other hits you from the other. You take a total of 25 piercing damage between the two attacks.
Can I?
Noted.
Sorry, can I do the cutting words on that 24?
Certainly. Go ahead and roll out that D8. What do you say to this bugbear?
Well, if you do it on the 20, it misses for a fact. The 24, there's a chance he'll still hit.
Hmm.
I mean, if I'm getting hit by one, I want to make sure it's one.
Okay, sorry. I thought the 20 missed and the 24 was hitting. Sorry. So yes, it would have to be the 20.
I think even if you just drop it by one, it's a miss. So, Locris, that was actually the heftier of the two damages. So you actually only take 11 points of piercing damage.
Thank you, Blade. I'm glad you didn't get chlamydia.
No problem. And Blade would probably yell something out like, "Haven't you heard of the wonderful Blade Silverstring?"
It definitely works. Flusters him for sure. So let's see here. This next little grouping of bugbears, they, at their master's command, move in on the party. Let's see here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. All these bugbears run in. 5, 10. Oops, 5, 10. And Gladier, unfortunately for you, you are pretty much the closest target in their neck of the woods as they kind of swarm around the only natural structure around, which is some sort of well, it looks like. But alas, only one of them makes it to you in time to actually make an attack. I assume a 26 hits.
Yes, 26 hits.
That'll be 13 points of piercing damage as this bugbear just runs up to you. This giant, furry humanoid just kind of runs over with this not very well kept mace. It looks like a little more than a ball on a stick. And as he clubs you with it, you take 13 points of piercing damage.
Alrighty.
Some of the other bugbears move from beyond the buildings into the road, kind of between the chieftain and this magic user of some kind and the party, but they do not make it close enough to engage just yet. And moving on down from the bugbear soldiers, that would be Gladier. I will send you an updated pick. Give me just a sec.
Isn't Renwick next up? He had a 15, I think, in initiative.
Oh shoot! I think I swapped you guys. My bad.
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah, I mismatched your guys' initiative when I was writing it down. Okay, Renwick, you are up.
All right. So in terms of mappage, I know Locris wiped out a couple, but there should be. I'm just trying. Sorry, there's a lot of markers on here, and I can't remember which ones have been blown off the map and which ones have already moved.
I'll drop a new map in the feed, but essentially you have a swarm of bugbears coming in on Gladier, and you have another small cluster of them seems to be coming down the road towards the party. And on the other side of that cluster seems to be like the leader and some sort of magic user.
All right. Well, let's see here. So Renwick's gonna see this and draw his blade and his hand crossbow. He'll take 2 steps to his right and then run straight ahead to the bugbear that's basically like 10 feet from Gladier. And he's just gonna swing and shoot.
Okay,
Try to level some of this this out because he sees Gladier getting surrounded. Let's see. Or sorry, not his blade, his trident. I have not adjusted to having that yet since I've been playing for over a year with a rapier. So my fancy trident and my fancy crossbow. Fuck me. Trident's a 14 to hit.
It does not quite. The bugbear is surprisingly agile. Parries your attack.
And a... Where did it go? 19 on the hand crossbow.
That'll hit.
Sweet. That will proc sneak attack because I don't have an ally within 5 feet of me. So it'll be 5d6 plus 6. 16, 23 damage on that.
Oh, you hit him and hard with that crossbow, it sails, hits him in the ribs, and it sinks deep. He almost lost like movement in one arm as he kind of glares in your direction.
And I have 25 feet of movement. It looks like I could have gotten over there in 20 feet, so I'll take a 5-foot step back, like towards the door of the building south of me.
Okay.
And that'll be my turn.
All right, moving on down for real this time. Gladier, you're up.
Alrighty. Quick question. Does a shove count as an attack? Or is that more of like just a regular action?
I would say against an enemy, it would be an attack.
Okay, because I am asking because I have an extra attack as my level of paladin, so I can attack twice instead of once whenever you take the attack action on your turn. So I'm not sure if you would count it in that way, where I can like shove someone and then swing my sword, or if that would be my full action to shove someone. It's up to you.
I will let you make a shove attack, and we will say that should you succeed like against or their like strength, then you would be able to shove them, essentially, but not necessarily do damage. But I assume you're trying to move them.
Yeah. So yeah, I was just seeing if I could like shove someone and then swing out at someone else with my sword. But also, I understand if you just want to rule it as like a shove is my full action and I don't get an attack.
No, you can make a shove attack. You can split it up. You could do that.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So in that case, that You said this was a well right next to me to my right.
Correct. They have kind of swarmed or moving around the well to you, essentially, until Renwick cut one of them off.
All right, so I want to try and shove the bugbear that attacked me. That's right next to me. I want to try and shove him into the well.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know how deep the well is, but I want to try and shove him down it.
Okay, go ahead and give me an athletics check.
All right. What is my athletics modifier? Okay, it's not bad. That is a 17.
Oh man, I rolled a nat 3. It comes out pretty nice, but it still loses to a 17.
It's okay. Yeah, so I just kind of like run up to him and just like with my shield arm, just kind of shoulder check him and try and shove him backwards down into the well. Again, I don't know how deep it is, but I'm sure it'll at least throw him off a little bit.
He's pretty hefty, and he crashes into this well, but he does manage to hold on from like falling too far into it. But yeah, you've shoved him into it, but he not necessarily down it. He is currently toppled over though. We'll consider him prone for the time being.
Okay, if he's considered prone, holding on to the edge of the well, I'm gonna try and hit him. See if I can just swing down at him uh with my longsword, or like stab down at him. See if I can just poke him off, like beat him with the stick to get him to.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and give me an attack roll. You guys got the paladin fighting dirty, man. What the fuck?
Is it with advantage because he's prone?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. That is not great rolls, but still a 19 to hit.
Oh, for sure hits.
All right. So that is 1d8 plus 6. He got shot by. Oh wait, no, that was a different one. That Renwick shot. Oh man, that's not great. Well, that's 8 points of slashing damage for that guy.
As you kind of hack down on him, as he's kind of trying to press his legs and arms spread wide against the walls so he doesn't fall into this well, and you're kind of taking some shots at him where you can.
All right, and then I'm going to okay. I got a lot on me right now. Where did? Oh, there's Velcros. Okay, I knew he moved. I just couldn't find him on the map. He was blending in. I'm gonna bonus action. I'm gonna Shield of Faith myself because I got 5 dudes on me right now. You got 5 guys. So bonus action, first level Shield of Faith. So it's a +2 to my AC, and it's a concentration spell. So I need to remember to make those checks. So yeah, so right now I have a 23 AC. And that is my I'm just going to stay put. It's my turn.
Very nice. Nice little buff there. All right, so bringing up the bottom of the round here. Got a couple more players to go there. Blade, you are up. What do you do at this point?
All right. So Blade was kind of looking at the enemies that were coming in on his left, but he's kind of now looking ahead, seeing Gladiator getting surrounded by these 5 guys. I'm guessing. I want to just see how they're all clustered up. Would I be able to, let's say, if I were to cast a spell that had a 10-foot range, would I be able to land it on there's the 3 that are in the lower corner of that well? Would I be able to land it on the center and hit all 3?
Yeah, I'd say you could do it with like a 10-foot radius. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I'm just gonna basically emulate Locris there and cast a shatter.
Oh, for sure. You could position it, with a 10-foot radius, you could put it right in the middle of all four of those guys and potentially get four of the five easily.
Well, all right, yeah, then I would definitely do that.
Okay, yeah. Let me roll. Was it Constitution save or?
Yes, it'll be a. I'm gonna cast it at fourth level, and it'll be a con save of 19.
I got a 12, a 17, a natural 1, and a 19. So
All right, 3 fail.
correct. 3 fails, 1 save.
With a 10-foot radius, can he hit all 5 of them?
Yeah, technically, I think that it would work. Let me get another one in there. Also a 19. But yeah, I think with the 10-foot radius, where if you put it right, positioned it just right over the guy Gladier's trying to stuff down a well, you could potentially get all of them. So yeah, all 5.
Okay, I'll roll out some damage here. So 5d8. For 30 points of damage. And 15 to the save.
Similar to how Locris's spell was very effective. With that, you drop 3 of these guys and severely hurt a third or a fourth rather. So tell me how this magic manifests through you, and you just blow these 3 bugbears away.
So he's gonna pull out his dragon tooth lute and kind of try to work on that melody that he was singing to the mayor there, I guess, and kind of try to rhyme, but maybe missing some of those notes just as he's doing it and not able to effectively hit everybody. But also, he's as he's doing it, he's kind of leaning back and playing against Gibraltar, and just like, I'm gonna protect you, buddy.
Smoothly done as these bodies just kind of crumple to the ground, smoking a little bit. That being said, anything else there, Blade? You want to take some movement or?
Blade is gonna stay put, and I think for now, I think that's it. I think I'm gonna stay put and try to guard my donkeys.
Hey, Sean, how's that well looking after taking 30 points of damage?
Ooh, you know what?
Oh, good point.
Being a structure, I think it automatically takes sonic damage or whatever the shatter spell is, correct?
I'm
Yeah, it
pretty
says
sure that stone structures specifically take extra damage too.
on the spell. Let me do the spell. It doesn't say anything about what type of structures for shatter, but oh wait, no. Well, no, it says a creature made of inorganic material such as stone has disadvantage. But it does say a non-magical object that isn't being worn or carried also takes damage if it's in the spell's radius. You consider that the well. Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
up
that
to
wall
you.
looks
The
pretty
well
good.
is obliterated alongside the guy Gladier was trying to stuff into it. He's one who failed. You toasted him for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, I
smoldering
succeeded.
ruins, mostly splintered wood and rock. Yeah. Moving on down, the chief kind of watching as his little band of warriors here is being dispatched easily, cries out a mighty war cry and charges through the fray. Let's see here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It's going to use the dash action. 10, 30. He sprints across the battlefield and gets straight up to the face of Gladier. And he is going to use his bonus action to try something a bit tricky. Gladier, go ahead and give me an opposed athletics check.
Oh no, is it my turn to go down the well?
No.
Oh no. The dice tell a story. That's a natural one.
You are the well.
I am now the well.
Oh, he runs up to you and slaps a set of, like, he runs up to you in like a charging fashion as if he's going to tackle you or something. He runs straight up to you and slaps some manacles on your hands. You now, until you remove them, you can only make attacks with disadvantage.
Motherfucker. Oh shit.
Moving on to the bottom of the round, the spellcaster, this bugbear spellcaster, can't actually see Locris, or doesn't have line of sight, rather. But he pulls out what appears to be a diamond and holds it to the sky. Lets the sun kind of sparkle all over it, and he begins to speak arcane words in another language. As he does so, he locks eyes with you, Blade Silverstring.
Oh, shit.
And with that, a small orb of what appears to be necrotic energy just kind of appears in this thing in place of the diamond that this thing was holding into the sun. And as he looks up to it and then flicks his eyes over to you, the thing travels with quite a true course and very fast and flies in your direction, Blade Silverstring. I assume a 25 hits.
Just barely.
Blade, you take 22 points of necrotic damage as this small orb flies across the battlefield and crashes into your chest.
Ah. All right, 22.
Correct. With that, the mage caster type also moves forward, leaning heavily on a staff that looks to have a fancy gem at its end. And he wields it more like a weapon rather than a walking stick as he approaches the party. And that is the bottom of the round, so we'll go back up to Logos. I'll take another pick real quick. So, Logos. Logos the baboon on top of this house, kind of watching this battle go down. What do you do?
So first I'll climb fully on top of the building. And once I'm up there, get my little perch and I'll bonus action, drop the baboon. And then I'm gonna change my attention to the caster and fire off 2 shots towards him.
Okay, give me some attack rolls.
First one is a 21 to hit.
Oh, for sure hits.
The second is a 28 to hit.
That one misses. No, you're good.
First one is a 9 points of damage, and the second is 12 points of damage.
You sink a couple of arrows into this bugbear, and he looks rough. He's gasping and goes from using his mace or his quarterstaff rather as a weapon to now using it for support to stand.
And Logos will. That's it. That's my turn. That's a bonus action movement.
Okay, moving on down, then that is Locris. You are up. Currently in between a couple of buildings, going toe to toe with a couple of bugbears.
And these are the ones Logos is shooting at.
No, these are the
No.
ones that passed their save against your shatter spell.
Okay, I'm going to attack. Let's start with the one on my left.
Okay, give me an attack roll.
Surprise, motherfuckers. It's going to be a 22 to hit.
Oh, that hits.
That'll be for 7 plus 6 for 13 points piercing damage.
With that mighty blow, I mean, you take the wind out of him, you take him down to his knee, he coughs up a bit of blood and struggles to stand to his feet, but still glaring at you defiantly.
Then I'll use my extra attack on him, and that's going to be a dirty 20.
That hits, and with a whole 1 hit point. Go ahead and tell me how you drop this guy.
So I just bring back my mace, turning into a morning star as I charged at them. Pissed off that they had the audacity to hit me. Hit him in the gut, knocking him down, and then I come over the top, smashing the back of his skull. And then I'm going to burn my action surge and take a backhand swing at the next one.
Haha, very nice. All right. Yeah, give me an attack roll.
And the lowest one is going to be a 22 to hit.
Oh, yep. You're good to go on both attacks, yeah?
And that's going to be 12 plus 12 for 24 points piercing damage.
And it is enough to finish him off. Go ahead and tell me how you take this one down as well.
So after smashing that one, before he could even blink, I backhand the other one across the face, sticking him as he goes falling into a wall. Locriston brings the Morning Star back and just slams it straight on into his face, knocking his teeth down his throat and splattering him back. And Locust is just going to walk calmly to the end of the alleyway, but not step out into the street yet, so that he stays out of view from that dirty magician.
Okay.
And take a little breather.
Okay, yeah. As you kind of catch your breath after going full Hulk for a minute.
And now in my turn.
That comes down to the bugbears. 1 through 5 have been eliminated. Seeing their master kind of rush in kind of invigorates them a little bit. One of these guys is going to run in on Gladier. Gladier, I assume a 15 misses.
Yeah, that misses.
The other, kind of watching Renwick's participation in this so far slaughter, steps forward. Renwick does a 21 hit.
That that it does.
Wait, do you still have your cloak equipped?
Yeah, so it is disadvantage.
Okay, so I assume 14 doesn't hit.
That does not.
Swoosh, a big swing and a miss, like a baseball style stance and swing from this bugbear and this massive mace. But alas, neither seem to find purchase on either of you. One moving down the road, takes his movement of 25 and finds himself face to face with Locris, stepping around the corner. 13 to hit, I assume misses. As he baseball swings in your direction, Locris, you don't even move, but he swings high and just buries this mace into the wall, but about a solid foot above your head.
What a bitch.
Another bugbear comes running down the road, taking 20 feet of movement, and comes in at Gladier. A natural one. This bugbear fumbles his weapon as he gets close and actually has to take the time to pick it up off the ground before and does not quite manage to get an effective attack off against Gladier. Another couple of bugbears move in to support their allies, but alas, they cannot reach any of you at this point. And I will snap another pick, and Renwick, you are up.
Well, I'm pretty sure we all know where this is going. So I'm gonna lash out at the nearest bugbear. We'll go with trident and hand crossbow, as per usual. Gotta try out my fancy new weapon, First one's gonna be a 26 to hit with a trident and a 25 to hit with the crossbow.
Both hit for sure.
Sick. That's gonna be 20 points of damage with the trident and an additional 10 points with the hand crossbow.
Oh, you take him down hard. The trident blow is actually enough to finish him. Renwick, tell me how you take this guy down.
Oh, in that case, since I am so much smaller than him, I imagine as I'm coming back over to him, he kind of just, with like one smooth motion, kind of uppercuts him and sticks the trident just straight up through his chin and then pulls it out. And as the bugbear falls, he just steps on top of him and walks over him to where the right next to where the well was. So he's in melee range with that other one that's I guess between Gladier and the well. Do you want me to re-roll the hand crossbow shot then?
No, we'll just apply damage to this guy. What was it again?
10 damage.
And with that is enough to put him on about death's door. More focused on Gladier than anything else, you walk right up to this guy and point blank fire off this crossbow right into his ribcage, and he winces and comes down to a knee. Now fully aware of your presence, but not prior.
And I think that'll do it. When he takes the shot in the ribs and he looks back and sees Renwick walking over the corpse of his fallen comrade, I imagine Renwick just gives him the trademark wink as he's walking straight toward him.
And with with that, I believe, Gladier, you're up as Renwick kind of drops one and thoroughly gives the business end of the crossbow to another that is trying to tangle with you.
All right, so I am currently manacled and I have disadvantage. I'm assuming it's an action to like even attempt, not even guaranteed to get out of manacles that locked around my wrist.
You may use your action to make a strength check to break the manacles, unless you have a way to perhaps pick the lock or something. But yeah, it is a standard action to break the manacles.
All right. Um. Fuck. Man. Right for bonus action. Can I do anything with that? All right. Oh, that's a concentration spell too. I'm already concentrating. Okay. Fuck it. I got a high AC right now. Yeah, I'm gonna use a standard action to um try and break the manacles. So
Okay, yeah.
strength.
Go ahead and give me a strength saving throw.
Alrighty. Oh my god, garbage. That's just a 10.
Try as you might, they're sturdily made, and as you're kind of looking down at them, they look familiar. Each and every blacksmith may make their manacles different, or maybe put their own flair on it. But as you struggle with these manacles, you realize these are very similar to what the shadow specialists were using in both the Alliance Islands and Hordenshire.
I think he kind of comes to that realization and lets out a low growl of anger. Um, I don't really have much in terms of bonus actions that won't drop my concentration on Shield of Faith. So I think I'm kind of fucked. I mean, I think that's all I can do, really, because I want to keep my Shield of Faith. Yes, I guess I'm just kind of. Actually, I'll use my bonus action to look at. I'm assuming their leader at this point. Um, Kind of stare him in the eyes and just, where did you get these manacles? And just kind of, ask him the question in common because I don't know Goblin, so hoping he knows Common, and just see if he'll respond. And that's my turn.
He just smiles a very toothy grin at you. Does not respond.
Bitch.
All right, moving on down from Gladier. Blade, Silver String, that is you.
All right. Kind of looking ahead and once again, kind of staring in the area where near the well or where it once stood. Blade is concerned. Poor Gladiator getting manacled. So Blade's gonna run up. Not probably maybe just make sure I have my range here. Okay, yeah, that's plenty. He's gonna maybe take just like a 10-foot, like I don't know, move 5 feet to the right and then another 5 foot forward, just kind of do a little L there. And he's going to look at this bugbear, this menacing bugbear standing in front of Gladeer. And he goes, I think you ought to leave him alone. Why don't you just chill out for a little while? And he'll kind of put his hand out, and you kind of see this like distortion happening. And I'm going to be casting polymorph on the big bugbear there.
Okay, yeah. As you go to cast this spell, once again, the caster's eyes flicker to you, Blade, and he casts Counterspell. Is Polymorph above a 4th level?
It is 4th level.
So as the magic sputters and fizzles out in your hand, you have hear the cackle of this bugbear off down the road, kind of making eyes at you. The very same one who struck you with the magical orb.
You could counterspell Blade.
Okay, I was wondering how that worked. If I could do it like on the same subsequent.
Yeah, you can
turn.
use your reaction to nullify that as well.
I guess so. I want this guy to fucking go away. I guess I'll burn my last 4th level slot to counterspell that as well.
You counterspell his counterspell, and once again, the leader, like the chief bugbear, kind of glances back at his mage and like rolls his eyes and says something derogatory in Goblin. Okay, so what do you need from me for the polymorph spell?
I'm gonna need a wisdom saving throw of 19.
Ooh, of 19? I don't think I got a whole lot going for... Yeah, this is a whopping +1, so... but it is a nat 20, boys. Sorry.
Shitball. Ugh. So close. One of these days I'll get it off.
Oh, so sorry, but good for me, I guess. As he kind of, maybe it was the counterspelling the counterspell. Somehow you gave him just a second's notice, and that was all he needed to somehow avoid or shirk the spell effect.
Blade just grins because. And yeah, I think Blade is now going to, just as a bonus action, he's going to go ahead and look at Logas. Is he still in baboon form, like up around the buildings?
No, he's elf form, but he is standing on top of a nearby building. So, any movement or anything, Blade? I think you still got some like 20 feet or so of movement, or is that it? Does that wrap it up?
Oh, sorry. Was my
might have been muted.
God damn it! After that whole spiel, no. So Blade's just gonna look up at Logos and give say, Logos, see how these bugbears fare against your mighty arrow, and I'm gonna give him a little bit of inspiration, and I'm gonna just stay where I am.
Okay, great, yeah. And that being said, moving on down from Blade, Silver String is this kind of beefier, older, more veteran bugbear. And though he is going toe-to-toe with Gladeer, he too makes a shove attack. Weirdly enough. Go ahead and give me an athletics check. Make it a good one. You gotta beat a 23. Nothing? Maybe? Something? You might be muted too.
What are you attacking?
Gladier. Sorry, did I mix up my mute button or something? I might have. Gladier, the chief bugbear comes to you and makes a shove attack. I need an athletics check from you.
Alright, hopefully I roll better this fucking time. Okay, there we go. That's a natural 20. For a. You said saving throw or check?
It'll be an athletics check, I believe. So,
Yeah.
but you do have to beat a 23. So,
Oh, that's a nat 20 for a 28.
he goes to shove you prone, tries to knock you prone, and you resist it. A little too strong for this guy as he kind of tries to impart his will on you. And he points to over your shoulder at Logos, who is on the roof, and calls out in Goblin. Does anybody in the party speak Goblin?
I definitely don't.
I assume by the silence not. So he gives
Yeah, I'm not able to.
he gives a command in Goblin to his bugbear allies, and then just makes an attack on Gladier. Gladier, an 18 hit.
That does not.
It just kind of clangs off of your shield, and this bugbear chief is actually also going to burn an action surge and hit you with yet another shove attack there, Gladier. Go ahead and give me an athletics check. 24 is the number to beat.
Oh boy. Are you fucking kidding me? Another natural one. That's 2 nat ones tonight already. Goodbye, dice. You are in jail.
As you, he finally manages to overpower you, Gladier, hits you in the back of the knee and causes your knee to crumple so he can knock you prone thoroughly. And as you crumple, his eyes stare across your prone body and, down the way to Logos on the rooftop. He then pulls a rather wicked looking javelin from his pack and hurls it in Logos's direction. Logos does a dirty 20. Does a 20 hit?
Yes, it hits.
You take 11 points of piercing damage, and I need you to give me a strength saving throw.
That's 2 plus 4.
Logos, you take an additional 6 points of bludgeoning damage as this javelin just sails through the air and sticks into you. It's got like a barbed hook like premise, or like tip, and as it jams into you, it sticks into you, and out of nowhere, an ethereal chain just launches from this javelin all the way to the hands of this bugbear, and he heaves. And as he does, it pulls you 10 feet towards him, which is off of the roof and onto your back as you are knocked prone. And the magic in this chain seems to solidify. It goes from being like a glowing, ethereal purple chain to solid, everyday, actual metal chain. With that, the magic user, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Moving in, seeing what there is to see. Pretty much lines up right on the money with Blade. Let's see here. And with once again, this bugbear begins muttering arcane words and drawing circles and symbols in the air that you cannot see, but their intention is focused on you, Blade.
Oh shoot!
And with that, a rod of flame seems to just erupt into the air and fly from this being straight in your direction there, Blade. Does an 18 hit?
An 18, I believe, hits. Yep, that hits. Right on the money.
Can I see the mage, and is he within 60 feet of me?
Yeah, you could see him. He's got like partial cover. There's a couple of bugbears between you and him, but he is on the battlefield and kind of behind the guys you're currently battling. But yeah, you can see him.
Then I'm going to counterspell him at 4th level.
He counterspells your counterspell. No, I think he has to take his turn before it gets another counterspell. So he once again the magic fizzles out, and he stares angrily at this tiefling, staring between the bard and the tiefling, not sure who he hates more.
Thank you so much. I was more worried for Gibraltar.
All right, and with the warlock ending their turn, I'll snap another pick, but we are back to the top of the round. Logos, you have this like spear sticking out of you. You're flat on your back. You've just been pulled off the roof, and you are prone currently. The spear and chain are taut, and you. It looks to be, the chieftain looks to be pulling on it, like actively hauling you in.
So is this chain no longer magic, or do I get the sense that this still has magical properties, or is it just a regular old chain now?
You can go ahead and give me an Arcana check if you'd like to try to discern the magical properties of this item.
Fuck it. That's a +1 for another 2, so 3.
You have no idea.
All right. I'm gonna try to move a little bit. Can I move away from him?
It'll be half your movement to stand up for sure, but yeah, you with a strength check, you could dislodge yourself and move. If not, he's just gonna pull you towards him.
If I hit him with some damage, could I make that with maybe advantage or something since he takes some damage, or will it just be a regular strength check no matter what?
We'll say, go ahead and give me an insight check.
Insight. Oh, that's a 27 total.
He's pretty healthy and hearty, and it looks like it would probably take one hell of a hit to get him to stumble enough to where he lets go of this chain. But it's possible, but you don't know. It's
Okay.
You'd have to hit him pretty damn hard.
So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull out the musket, and I'm going to cast bonus action Zephyr Strike. So the spell is, you move like the wind until the spell ends. Your movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks, and you give yourself advantage on one weapon attack roll, and the attack deals an extra 1d8 force damage on the hit. And then my walking speed increases by 30 feet. So I'm gonna pull out the musket. I'm gonna take a shot with advantage. A natural 20. Holy Jesus. And a 19. So I'm gonna take that natural 20. And that's gonna be 2d12.
Are you using the the musket that you got from the gnome?
Yes.
Like the musket specifically named Vengeance?
Yeah, the only musket I have.
Upon a critical hit, it auto deals max damage, I do believe.
Holy moly. Okay. Well, if that's the case, then that is 1d12 plus 5 doubled. So that's 24 plus 10, 34 points of damage from one hit, with an extra 1d8 on that. And that's a 3. So that's 37 points of damage from that one hit. And second attack is a 26 to hit.
Oh, it hits.
And that's another, oops, I wrote a d8. Where's my d12? That's 6 plus 5.
Okay, wait. What are you attacking with on the second attack?
The musket, the same.
I believe you have to spend an attack to reload the musket. You only get one shot.
Well, let me check something real quick.
Yeah, typically with firearms, it's an action to reload unless it's something that has a magazine, or like pistols. Usually you get like 5 shots and then a reload or something like that.
Well, with the gunner feat I took, it says ignore reloading property of firearms.
Oh, you have the gunner feat. Okay, yeah, no problem, for sure. Continue on. What was that damage?
That was 11 points on the second one, so that would be 48 points of damage total.
11 puts him over the threshold. Go ahead and tell me how you end this bugbear, Logos.
Seeing him pull, throw a javelin, I imagine like in his leg, and he's trying to pull him. Logos gets like a sense of panic, seeing that, he's been focusing on him, and he's like, fuck this. Pulls out this golden musket and just takes 2 shots off, just blows his head completely off.
Brutal, as this massive bugbear body just hits the ground, or a bit of smoldering and smoke where his head used to be. We're moving on. I think you got a bit of movement left, Logos. Is there anything you want to do?
Yeah, I have. Well, I use half to get up, so that's what, call it 20 or 15. What would it be? Round up or round down?
Yeah, we'll round down and call it 15.
Okay, so that's 15 plus 30 feet, so I'm back at 45 from Zephyr Strike. So I like to move just from their kerfuffle, just kind of get some space, since the bugbears seem to be focusing on him. Maybe move back left a little bit towards behind the donkeys.
Okay, yeah, you can take like 10, 15 feet and position yourself behind the animals.
Yeah, and that'll be my turn.
All right, moving on down from Logos. That is Chris, still going toe to toe with a couple of bugbears.
Logos is currently pissed off that one had the audacity to swing at him, and so he is going to take a swing at him to show him how it's done.
All right, give me an attack roll.
All right, it's going to be a 26 on the first one and a 21 on the second.
Oh, both hit for sure.
It's going to be, ooh, you gotta love that. Damn near double max. 8 and 7 for 15 plus 12 for 27 points piercing damage.
Damn. Yeah, with one solid blow, you crack this guy across the face, and not you send some blood and teeth flying around. He looks at you and the not barely able to keep his knees from wobbling.
And as a bonus action, I'll just flip him off. And then my turn.
He's confused and hurt. More confused. With that is actually the bugbears. So we'll start with the two coming at Locris. That will be a 25 and a 13 to hit.
25 hits.
And that will be 10 points of piercing damage as they both take wild swings, but one finds a bit of purchase.
Noted.
So, with Gladier prone, a couple of these bugbears are going to get advantage on some attacks, and they're going to take full advantage of that.
No.
First one, high would be a 19, which comes out to like a 27 to hit. The second one, 6 and a 13, but still comes out to a 21 to hit. Does a 21 hit?
20. Well, is this a separate attack? Like a separate person?
Separate attack. They're getting one attack each.
Okay, because the first one hit, so I technically would need to roll a concentration check. I think I'll need to roll a concentration check off after the first attack.
Oh, okay.
To see if my Shield of Faith drops. Because if my Shield of Faith drops, the 21 hits. If it doesn't drop, it misses.
Okay, it's a 12 damage on the first attack. 12 piercing damage.
Okay, I just have to beat a 10 to keep concentration. Which I sure should fucking hope so. I just have to roll a 4 or higher. And god damn it, why did I say anything? I rolled a fucking 2, so concentration drops when the 21 hits.
You take an additional 10 points of piercing damage.
God damn it.
And the third guy tries to crush your head specifically, but misses entirely. But not by that much, so... Yeah, all three of them take shots at Gladier, despite Renwick running up on one and, point blanking, shotting him in the ribs. So, with the bugbears out of the way, I'll send a new pick, but Renwick, you are up.
Well, I know what I'm going to do. It's just a matter of who am I doing it to. So I don't think I'm really going to be able to help otherwise. I should be in range of the chieftain if I'm not mistaken. Oh, wait, there's one right there.
Logos full-blown blew chieftain's head off.
Oh, shit, yeah. Sorry, You know what, fuck it. I'm right next to one. I'm just going to swing and try to free up Gladier since he's on the ground. That's a 29 with the trident.
Oh, that hits.
Let's see. Oh shit! I rolled 4 5s and a 4, so 24.
Damage?
Yes.
Oh, that full on takes him out.
Well, fuck yeah.
You kind of just plunge your trident into the side of this guy, add insult to injury where your crossbolt bolt was, and he slides off the other end and crumples up to the ground.
And he'll step over his body to the other side so that he's flanking that middle bugbear with Gladier, even though he's prone. And he'll take a hand crossbow shot at him.
Okay, great, yeah.
And that's a 25.
Oh, for sure hits.
An additional 11 damage.
Very nice. As you sink yet another crossbow yet another bolt into some bugbear flesh. Is that it? Anything else?
No, I think he'll look through the bugbear's legs at Gladier and just be like, are you just gonna lay around all day? And that'll be it.
And Gladier, you're up as Renwick kind of taunts you from the other side of your enemy.
All right. Yeah, Gladier's getting pissed now. I'm going to use half my movement to stand up. Bonus action. Use bonus action and pull out my potion of bull strength. So I have advantage on strength checks for an hour. And then I'm going to try and use my action to snap out of these manacles so I can just fucking do something.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and give me a strength check.
Okay, that's better. That is strength check is a 23.
Just enough to rip the manacles apart as they send bits of metal flying in random directions, but you are now free of them.
All right. Now standing back up, eye to eye with these bugbears. Again, he lets out another very loud growl, and kind of fire flickers between his teeth as he kind of stares at them with his newfound freedom in his hands and gets ready.
And with that, I think we're moving on down. Blade, you're up.
All right. Blade's getting fed up with these jabronis. So Blade is going to, once again with his loot, be staring out towards this caster, and he's going to take his loot and take a strum on it. But like as he's doing so, like you don't hear anything, but then you start to see static starting to kind of come off of his strings. It's like almost like the reverberating from the strings itself turn to static and kind of just shoot down to the ground and then out towards this caster. And the spell has a 20-foot radius. So I'd like to land it on a point where I would hit those two that are in front of Gladier and also that caster.
Okay, yeah, easily enough.
So I'm going to be casting synaptic. Yeah, if I can never fucking say it. Synaptic static. So I would need a intelligence saving throw of 19 from those three.
The caster lands 19 on the money, but the other two fail.
Okay, so those two. So the caster's going to take half damage. And I'm going to roll out the damage now.
Ooh, so 25 damage. All right.
Yep.
So
25 and then
with
half as
that,
much to the caster.
With that, the one Renwick had just kind of fired a bolt into, he goes down, and the caster as well. Tell me how two of these three creatures are affected by your spell. What does it manifest like?
So I could see like the static maybe like coming down like when I shot it out like through the ground, and it like kind of like, as for the caster especially because this motherfucker, you just see it like go out, shoot, and kind of crawl its way like almost like it's skirting around his like his arm, or kind of like working his way like up, like it's around its body, like almost like a snake would be kind of like coiling up on someone, and you just see it kind of enter and like almost like blow out like energy through this guy's hands and blow his hands off. um and the other bugbear, same kind of deal, but it kind of goes up, works its way up through, and then you just smell like burnt hair, and then you see his eyeballs just fucking blast out.
And as the two of the three collapse, and the third is badly wounded, it kind of glaring at Gladier, still trying to maintain some sort of defense against now an encroaching Gladier and Renwick.
Perfect. So he failed. Did he fail to save that, the one that's still standing?
Yeah.
So with him, he's going to have muddled thoughts for 1 minute. So during that time, his rolls, take a d6 and subtract from it. That's on attack rolls, ability checks, as well as Constitution saving throws to maintain concentration.
Oh, all right. Let me make a note here. Very well played. He's kind of spacey, a little staticky.
And then I guess for now, Blade is just going to kind of pull his loot back a little bit and kind of chuckle because finally we got this motherfucker down, this caster, um, and just kind of once again lean back and to kind of protect Gibraltar from anything that could be approaching.
Okay, and as we move on down to the bottom of the round, it would be the Warlock, but he's a smoking pile of ash at the moment, so it's back to the top of the round. Logos, you're up. Currently, there is a somewhat dazed and confused bugbear that is being surrounded by both Gladier and Renwick. Meanwhile, off on the other side of the street, almost exactly across the street, looks like Locris is pretty much holding his own, but yeah, he is definitely getting 2-on-1'd by some bugbears.
Logus, he's gonna look for whichever one looks the most hurt and try to finish them off.
None of these bugbears are in good shape.
Oh, the one that Locris is facing, I'll try to take him out.
Okay, give me an attack roll.
That's a 16 to hit.
Barely hits, but it does.
All right, I'm gonna see if this will kill him before I go. Damn it, it fell off the table. That is a that is a 10 points of damage on that first hit.
Go ahead and finish him.
Yeah, I'll just do a quick like an arrow just to the heart, and then he'll just like turn his attention to the next one that the others are fighting, and just take another like Logus is in the zone trying to take these things out. That is a 23 to hit, and that is 9 points of damage on that one.
And that is just enough. Low Chris left him lingering on low hit points as well. How do you take this one out?
Again, Locus is just trying to be efficient at this point. Just straight arrows to the heart as they're like kind of, you can see like the armor, whatever they're wearing, kind of fading. You find a chink in the armor, just utilize it and put it down as quickly as possible to move on to the next one.
And with that, as you floor a couple of them, there seems to be one remaining, though it still seems intent on fighting. And Lokris, you're next in initiative.
Right, you said there's one remaining.
Yes, currently, Renwick and Gladier are flanking it, kind of walking around it, circling up, or if you will. But with 30 feet of movement, you can get into melee if you'd like.
Yes, I'm going to bonus action Hexblade Curse. I'm just going to come running in and wail on him.
Okay, give me an attack roll.
Pissed off that Loga stole my kills. All right, it's 14 and a dirty 20. So one hits.
Yeah, for sure. One hit, one miss.
Well, at least it was max damage. So 14 points piercing damage.
And that is more than enough. How do you take down this last bugbear?
So I come charging in, still with bloodlust. And as I go to hit, I do that pulse short. So he throws his arms up to defend himself, leaving an exposed belly. And I slice through with the Morning Star, just ripping out his entrails as it goes by.
Brutal. And as this last bugbear falls to the ground, you hear the unfamiliar war horn cry out again. And, it seems like a lot of Ledlitten had experienced this bugbear raid. He repelled all of the bugbears in the immediate area of the party, but for the most part, it looks like there were several other crews that may or may not have made it in or out of the village, but the surrounding area is definitely safe, as some very scared elves kind of peek out from doorways and windows and their various hiding places and kind of look on in awe at this fresh kind of battlefield type of scene, and the sands of justice splattered thoroughly in the bloods of their enemies.
In this moment, Logus would have downed a health potion just to try to get back to full, use the full action since we're out of combat.
Okay, yeah, for sure. As the chaos kind of recedes around you guys, the very familiar clatter and organized march of the elves kind of returns to the area, and this just squadrons of armored elves kind of begin kind of patrolling the streets and taking on like things like checking on the citizens, looking to care for them and whatnot. Obviously remaining vigilant and going door to door, house to house, and inspecting everything. Just kind of making sure there are no leftover surprises or enemies lingering within city limits. But the soldiers do return pretty swiftly, and along with them, Lord Svelison. And Lord Svelison walks right up to the party in the midst of all this carnage, in the midst of all this slain bugbears all around you, and he looks at them all and then looks back to the party and says, You all did this?
Can you really tell me that you're that surprised?
No, just wow. I mean, you're outnumbered 3-1. They didn't even put a scratch on any of you. He kind of looks at Gladier, who's a little dirty from rolling around on the ground.
Well, to be fair, 3-1, that they needed 10-1.
Well, I am impressed. the company that Blade Silverstring keeps obviously can hold their own. I am as impressed as I am saddened. I feel like I have done you all a disservice. Here you are, in my streets, not a high elf among you, shedding your own blood for the safety of other high elves, those who look down on you. He's now making a show of it. He's like circling the party and speaking loudly, speaking outward towards like the homes and the things that where you notice, very scared elves kind of peeking out from their hiding places. He's like, and with not an elf amongst them, you selflessly threw yourself in front of danger to aid a community that would just look down upon you, treat you as if you were not equals. Yet, here you are, their very last line of defense. It's almost as if the mortal races have a bit more to them than what the local high elves have bestowed upon them. And I am ashamed to say that the other day, when Blade Silverstring and Company played at my private estate, I treated you unfairly. I spoke of keeping things plutonic in relation to politics here, and I regret that decision. By all means, you all are always welcome here. Anyone willing to spill blood, their own or others, for the crown. How can we say that you're not worth the time of a high elf? And he comes over to and just embraces Blade, and then goes around to each one of you and makes meaningful eye contact as he takes your hand and shakes it and thanks each and every one of you guys individually. And you guys do notice that a small crowd has kind of come out and they're inspecting the carnage. They're inspecting you guys, and a slow murmur of kind of confusion kind of rattles out. But with that, Lord Svellison says, I have much to attend to. There were some kidnappings. Not all parts of the city fared as well as this one. Alas, hopefully this is not the last time we meet, but I bid you adieu. And he kind of marches on, taking a small group of soldiers with him. Not very far, he's only several houses down before they've come into like some trouble. Looks like some slain individuals and their family members stumble upon their slain loved ones, and he's sort of trying to de-escalate the situation. So, what does the party do from here?
Low Chris wants to go check out that javelin that Logus got impaled on.
It looks to be made crudely. It's almost as if it was just like pulled from like lava itself. Like it looks like it's less like smelted and more like a piece of like raw iron that was found. Like it just happens to be in the shape of a javelin, like a pointed stick. But go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
That's not you. That's you. 14 plus 8 for 22.
With that, you can tell that it is a command word to extend the chain up to 100 feet from successfully striking a target, and a successful struck target must make a strength saving throw, DC 15, or be pulled 10 feet closer to the attacker. And but you do notice with this Arcana check that it is a one-use only item. The chain looks, the magic looks to have been expended. It does. You do have a javelin with 40 feet of chain attached to it. But as you kind of look around, you do see that this bugbear chieftain does have another javelin of similar make that does not look to have been had the magic expelled.
Lucas is going to go up to the chieftain and take out the javelin and carry it up to Gladier. Well, since your range, kind of sucks if they're not right up in front of you, you can take this, and he'll hold out the javelin. It'll allow you one time to impale somebody and yank their ass towards you, almost like you were the old legend of Scorpion. So, could be useful.
Gladier's looking a little lost in thought, but kind of comes back to like with the jolt as Looker starts talking to him, and like places his javelin in his hands. He takes it, kind of inspects it, turns it over. Uh, yeah, no, that's actually. I think this might actually do me some good. Get people up close to me, and where I might fight a little better. Not have to run as far. This armor's kind of heavy. Um, do these manacles? And he like kind of like holds up like takes the manacles off the ground that he shattered and holds them up to Locris. Do these manacles look familiar to you?
Can I investigate the manacles?
Oh, for sure. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
10.
That was what I set the DC at. These are very familiar. These are not things you would find in like the castle dungeons. These are not crudely made like most of the armor, and it looks to be some of the weaponry on most of these bugbears. These are finely made manacles, and they are very, very similar to the ones found in both Hordenshire and the Alliance Islands. You're confident that if the shadow specialists have a smithy, that they made that.
Yeah, these manacles are the same ones that captured many of your friends up in Hordenshire. These fucking furballs definitely work for the shadow specialists.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. We've seen a lot of them in our travels in Hordenshire, so kind of jogged my memory a bit. I think I'm gonna check out their leader, see if we can find anything interesting on him. And he's gonna kind of walk over to the chieftain that had his fucking head blown off by Logus and start just digging around uh through any like maybe like if he has a satchel or you know some sort of pockets. I don't know if he's wearing pants, but if he has any sort of container on him.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and give me an investigation check as you kind of pat down the corpse of this bugbear chieftain.
Oh yeah, I'm so good at investigating. Actually, it's not as bad as I thought. I forgot. That is a 14.
With a 14, he seems to have kind of mundane gear. He does have a kind of like a morning star. It's in better shape than the soldiers that he's kind of running with, but it's not anything spectacular. Also, he has like a large wooden shield with a few gashes in it, and it looks like 2 or 3 human hands have been nailed to the outside of the shield. Aside from that, on his belt loop, you also find the severed head of an elf. And with going through his pockets, he's got about 10 gold pieces in one of his pockets. And aside from that, his gear's kind of mundane. He's got a chain shirt, but it's not really that well kept. Bits of rust look like they're creeping in here and there. One thing you do notice, Gladier, it's kind of off. It's literally off. Like as you're searching this thing, part of like the blown up head, you're kind of it's more just like viscera and gore. But one thing that remains intact, you find an ear, and of course it's just a bugbear ear, big furry ear. But the back of it seems to have a strange purple, kind of almost like a pulsing tattoo. And as this tattoo kind of pulses, like it seems to pulse weaker and weaker and weaker until it's no longer pulsing at all. But it's strange nonetheless.
Is it still like present after it pulses, or does it kind of like fade away?
Still present, just no longer glowing. Just kind of, a tattoo in the ear.
Okay. Can I try and?
Okay. Well,
All
sorry.
right.
Wait, give me one more. As you kind of pat this guy down, you pull a bunch of beads. Like it's like a strip of leather, and as you open this little leather strip up, about 35 little beads are in like this little leather pouch. And as you kind of inspect them, they're not very solid. They're kind of squishy.
All right. Well, he's definitely gonna pocket the 10 gold for sure. Got the dead bugbear has to pay his tithe. Um. Uh. Can I quickly pull out? Because I got like I was in charge of you know charting out the maps for the dungeon we were in, so I assume I probably have at least a little bit of like parchment and ink left. Can I quickly um, pull that out and try and just copy, uh, like just sketch the tattoo that's on the back of the ear um, on just like a piece of parchment, and then I'm gonna pocket the ear and the parchment, but just in case the dead ear it could decompose, so I just want to have a copy of that. What the tattoo looks like on my person as well.
Okay, give me a sleight of hand check. See how well you copy this tattoo.
Oh fuck! Yikes! That's a 10.
Average, legible. It's not.
Okay.
It's in language you don't understand. So, but you got all the symbols and characters down. You're pretty sure.
All right. Hopefully close enough. And then I'm gonna take the ear and the beads, um, and walk over to the rest of the group and kind of just show them to everyone. Show them what I found. Just be like, I'm not quite sure what either of these things are. Well, I mean, this is an ear, but there's the frame of the tattoo on the back. When I first saw it, it was pulsing like this magical energy, and it slowly just faded away, and now it just looks like a regular tattoo. But I'm assuming it's something if it was pulsing with arcane. Then also these squishy beads. I don't. God damn it, Locris. Um, I need to like minimize the page, so I have to stop looking at that GIF so I can talk. um, Also these beads here in this leather strip. I've never seen anything really like it before, but they're you know I'm not quite sure what they are. Does anyone else have any clue what these things are?
Blade is distracted.
I could take a look. I was about to check out the mage, see if he had any fun stuff on him anyway.
Yeah, Glader will hand him over both the ear and the 35 squishy beads.
Okay, yeah. Locris, if you want to give me, I guess, an Arcana check. Which one do you inspect first?
The beads.
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
27.
Of the 35 beads, 15 of them are yellow, and the other 20 are blue. The yellow appear to be what are called beads of nourishment. It's a spongy, flavorless, gelatinous bead that dissolves on your tongue and provides as much nourishment as one day's worth of rations. And the other beads are known as the bead of refreshments. This spongy, flavorless, gelatinous bead dissolves in liquid, transforming up to a pint of the liquid into fresh, cold drinking water. The bead has no effect on magical liquids or harmful substances such as poison, but it's kind of like a way to make clean drinking water, essentially.
Yeah, these beads are they're good for traveling. The yellow keep you fed and the blue keeps you hydrated. You mind if I take 3 of these blue ones?
Yeah, go ahead. I figure we can yeah, take yours and then we can put the rest in the bag of holding if we're ever in a spot where we're on the road and we don't have any food or water. The useful little tool here.
And then I'll take a look at the ear. Hello? Can you hear me now?
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check. What languages do you speak, Locris?
Not goblin. I speak infernal, abyssal, and common, and I learned a little bit of giant. If I'm not fluent yet.
Oh, I also know Draconic, Dwarvish, and Infernal, just in case if I might have recognized any of it.
Avery loves me tonight.
With that, Locris, you inspect the markings and you know that it is some sort of magic rune. However, it appears that the magic has died with the host, but you're not sure. You can't make heads or tails of what the magic does or what it did, rather. But one thing you are certain of is that this tattoo is written in the language of the drow.
Yeah, this is well, it's useless now. It lost all magic with him, but it's a drow arcana. So apparently we're going headed to the right place because we were going to go through drow land anyway, so we can ask them about it.
I mean, how high do you think this goes? I mean, I if you start tracing lines, it almost seems like the it seems like Amorphous is in league with the Drow. And
I'd say Amorphous is in league with somebody in this country who's in league with the drow.
Or he's just
Could
in
be a
league with a
trifecta.
little bit of everyone.
oh, such a wicked web.
Well, maybe we should offer our services to maybe get back those he said were captured. I mean, if he's all for us going after, then maybe he's to be trusted. Or if he tries to deter us away, then maybe we have something to think about.
Well, we're headed that way. I'd say we see if we even come across any prisoners down there. For all we know, they capture them and then lead them off to whoever the rich man is who ships them off. So they never even go through the drow area, but whoever is working with the drow is probably keeping secret about it. Might not find out until we stumble across more information. And then Locris would like to search the mage.
Okay, give me an investigation check as you search the mage.
Gone to the well one too many times here. Nope. Everybody still likes me.
With a 27, obviously, first thing that you notice after kind of inspecting the ear, the mage also has a similar tattoo on the back of his ear, and you kind of watch as the light slowly but surely pulses out of it as you kind of rummage through the pockets of this bugbear. You find that he has a strap, like similar to a belt, but not necessarily belt. Could be like a bandolier rather, but it is full of human fingers rather than bullets or ammunition. Aside from that, there is a necklace that they wear. Looks to have several crow skulls bound around like a piece of leather. But what really sticks out, two things, Locris. There is a just a gnarled like black wooden staff, and it just sings to you almost. It gleams. It catches the light in a way that dark wood should not. It's almost shiny, and you immediately get a sense of arcane prowess coming from this staff, but. At the top of the staff, as you pick up the staff, it looks like there was once a shard embedded in the tip, but it seems to be embedded no more. And it's like a white, almost like quartz, but inside is like this black, writhing smokiness. And as you pick up this gem, Locris, those who kind of look on, you guys see Locris touch this gem, and he shoots straight up, stands straight up and down. His eyes milk over, and he begins to float. Like he's gone to the world at the moment. Locris, in your own mind, you see trouble. You see Drassic Riven, your patron. You see him on a knee, and as he is on a knee, there are cords, purple glowing cords, have bound each of his wrists, and they fly off into the darkness, and you don't know what they're attached to, but he looks unwell. He looks to be struggling, and he doesn't seem to notice you. And as you kind of look on, like a sound, maybe a water drop in the distance, his head snaps up, the smoky silhouette of a being, and he calls out to you. He says, Ward, I need you. Come to me. Come to me now. And as he says this, the world around you begins to shake, and you are propelled back into the material plane, and you land on your ass as you were just hovering about a foot in the air. This smoky shard that you have picked up, this smoky quartz that has this black smoke rolling inside of it. You don't know how you don't know what it is or exactly anything of its origins, but somehow, some way, this shard is a piece of Drassic Revan or a piece of the Shadowfell. It is not from this plane. It is from the plane of existence of your patron, if not from him directly, like a piece of him. And yeah, it just swirls and smokes in this crystal.
Lucas will just gently tuck the crystal into a pocket, and then he's going to remove the crow necklace and add it to his bag of holding because that's cool. And check out the staff, somewhat distracted, just thinking about what he saw.
Okay, as you check out this staff, go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Y'all saw that, right? Like he just floated in the air for a second. That wasn't just me being a little loopy.
No, I scared Gibraltar a little bit. That was a little odd.
Logus was zoned out.
15 on the Arcana.
That's enough. It's a common item. What you have uncovered here, Locris, is known as the Staff of Adornment. If you place an object weighing no more than 1 pound, such as a shard or crystal or egg or maybe a stone or something, so if you place an object weighing no more than 1 pound above the tip of the staff while holding it, the object floats an inch from the staff's tip and remains there until it is removed or until the staff is no longer in your possession. The staff can have up to 3 objects floating over its tip at any given time, and while holding the staff, you can make one or more of the objects slowly spin or turn in place.
Since it's a cute trinket, he's just going to shove it into the bag of holding. Look at the list. We got to go. And make his way over towards his horse.
Where exactly is it that we're going? I mean, we don't have exactly a direction to go in. I mean, we've got a lot of different leads, and
We need to get to the Shadowfell. The sooner, the better.
Well, what's our
And we
quickest
know
route?
it's going to be probably down through that academy. To get there, the road leads to Sillerin. So we'll go to Sillerin, brief stop, and then just head south from there. That's where the doorway has been, according to the Lord here. So I think that's our best option. But the guy who's been giving me my powers is being slowly tortured. And if I don't get there to stop him, there's a good chance that he goes away. What I can do goes away. And then I go back to being just a regular tiefling.
Well, you're anything but regular, but I understand the need for haste there. And he'll start walking over to his mount and just be like, "Well, point the way. I'm right behind you."
As you guys kind of get your things together and make ready for to continue your journey, Locris, you notice as you're getting your things together, getting back on your mount, you notice where Jurassic Riven's wrists were bound. You notice your own wrists, and you have like burns and bruises just around the wrist. It looks as if you were bound for some period of time, though you know you haven't been.
I'll notice it and keep quiet about it. 'Cause that's what sulking teenagers do. And right on.
Okay, yeah, the party mounts up and journeys deeper into Brightwood proper. Now, it is here at the village of Lead Lytton, excuse me, that the rocky, kind of hilly terrain full of springs and creeks kind of meets the wood. You guys actually haven't been traveling in the forest proper yet. And as you guys come around a few bends, the massive, like, redwood trees, these massive trunks that are just skyscrapers of towering trees, are all that you see around you. These rich red colors, and the sounds of bugs, and the occasional fauna, and squirrels and deer and things, and yeah, it is rather pleasant. You travel alongside a creek for some time, and the clipping and clopping of your hooves of your various animals is all you see, hear, or come across for several hours on the road. As you guys head in the direction of Silurin, you come upon your first evening as the twilight hours kind of take hold. What do you guys do from here? You guys set up camp, push on through the evening? Tell me how you guys proceed.
Can I just say that during like the travel time, Glader had pulled back out the javelin that Locust gave him, and was just kind of inspecting it, kind of seeing if he needed to attune to it, or just kind of trying to figure out the qualities and feel the weight, length of the chain, studying it.
So there is one javelin that has like about 50 feet of chain attached to the back, but there is one javelin that did not have the magic expended on it. Which one are you fiddling with?
Well, I would check out the one that didn't have the magic expended on it first, and then I would take a look at the chain to see if there's any magical qualities to the chain, or if it's just a regular old chain.
Okay, give me an Arcana check.
Alrighty, Arcana is a +4. God damn, I'm rolling like right in the middle all the time. It's a 13.
The chain seems to be unremarkable after it's manifested, and with that, the other javelin, looks like it was more something that was found than made. It's like almost like a natural formation of ore that just is kind of a pointed shaft almost. And it looks like with the proper command word, you could, after striking an enemy up to 100 feet away, with the command word, you can have a chain erupt from this javelin to your hand, as long as you're within 100 feet. And this will also cause them to have to make a strength saving throw versus DC 15, or be pulled 10 feet in your direction.
Okay.
As you kind of inspect it, though, it appears that you would have to attune to it to use this feature.
Gotcha. And the one that kind of like lost its magic, so can that still function as like, I can still throw the javelin with the chain attached and try to pull them, and it's just maybe like more difficult, or how does that one work?
As far as you can tell, that's pretty much the gist of it. It's just no longer magical. It doesn't have a bonus to hit or anything.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So yeah, you just kind of put those. I don't know, kind of sling him across his back, I guess, and hold on to him for now.
So as you guys kind of you guys press on through the night, you guys want to set up camp. How do you guys proceed as night falls on? You guys are several hours outside of Ledlitten in the forest of Brightwood.
Well, I'm assuming that despite the fact they went down quick, everybody's pretty spent from that last battle. Kind of looking over at the casters that were just popping off, because I'm relatively unscathed myself.
I'm fine. I just don't know if we want to be riding in the dark. Makes it a lot easier for an ambush.
I will say that some of my Stronko abilities have been spent, but I am still capable of battle if needed. Press on if we wanted.
Well, I guess it just depends on how fast Lokers thinks he wants to get to Siller. And
Well, I want to get there quickly, but I don't want to get there stupidly. I think
that's a fair
traveling at
point.
night is going to open us up to all sorts of ambushes.
I mean, if you'd like to make camp, Blade, do you have your hut? I've got the portable hole. We can put Gigabraltar in there. He'll be safe.
Yeah, I can definitely squeeze out another hut.
Now, no talking to old women, and he'll look at Lucas.
Logus's eye just twitches.
Well, in that case, let's find a good spot to tie up the rest of the mounts, and we'll put Gigabraltar in the portable hole, and we'll set up a watch right outside the tiny hut. Get some sleep.
So yes, we'd like to find a camping spot there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll do that. Can I make a check to try to find a decent camping spot?
Yeah, go ahead and make me a survival check.
That is a dirty 20.
Logos, you find a more than decent spot. It looks like it was already a campsite once. You know, there's a circle of stones and some old dried smoldered wood. You know, it's mostly charcoal and ash at this point, but there's several spots that are already flattened out, and it's underneath not only some decent tree cover just off the side of the road, but they appear to be fruit trees. Looks like this small grove of apple and pear trees seems to grow in the shadow of this massive redwood. And even a clean, clear creek runs nearby for like fresh drinking water. It takes you no time at all to find a very suitable campsite.
Logus will walk up to that campsite. Try to find some wood to add to it, and then he'll cantrip, produce flame, and toss a flame in there, and use druidcraft to kind of light the fire, and get the fire going.
The fire kind of crackles and pops as the sun just kind of touches the horizon, kind of turns the sky into like orange and purples, and these towering trees. You can hear the wind kind of rustling the leaves, and the occasional caw or cry of various woodland animals. And as dusk kind of settles in, how do you guys proceed from here?
As Logus is hearing the fire go on, hearing the woodland creatures go off, he's gonna stand up and going to try to find us food. It'd be nice to get some meat. I'll be back. And Logus wants to set off to try to hunt something to eat.
Okay, yeah, give me another survival check.
This one is a 17 total.
With a 17, you find a deer path with recent tracks, and you stalk your way down into the forest. While Logos takes off to go get some food, what is the rest of the party doing at this moment?
Renwick would be taking time to try to like cover our tracks coming off the road and find a good spot like within view of where we're setting up to tie up the other mounts, get Gigabraltar in the portable hole for storage, and just like generally preparing the camp, trying to make it as subtle as possible.
Okay, yeah, noted. Very nice with the portable hole usage. What is the overall capacity of the portable hole?
Let me pull that up for you. Sorry, I have so much shit now from the bag of holding. It's like hard to find anything. Let me just Google it real quick. It's not easy being the guy carrying all the shit. It is unfolds into a circular sheet with a 6-foot diameter. It is an extra dimensional hole 10 feet deep and apparently 6 feet in diameter. Any creatures inside the portable hole can exit the hole by climbing out of it. Folding it closes the hole. Any creatures that remain in the extra dimensional space, no matter what's in it, the hole weighs next to nothing, so I can pick it up and take it with us. A breathing creature within a closed portable hole can survive up to 10 minutes, but Gigabraltar doesn't breathe. So in theory, we can basically put him in there anytime.
It's like his garage.
Yeah, essentially it's a garage for the mech pets.
Excellent, nice. Yeah, you throw down this hole and place Gigabraltar firmly inside.
Before Logus left, since I already planned to put Gigabraltar in the hole, I would have asked if the dog needs to go in the hole or if you're keeping him out during our camp night.
No, the dog will serve as an extra layer of protection. I've trained him to keep watch while we sleep.
Works for me. And he'll fold up the hole and, secure camp, all that fun stuff.
And Logos is not gone long, maybe a half an hour. And before, after about 30 minutes or so, Logos comes walking back in from the forest with a field-dressed deer, a large plump doe over one shoulder. He's already looks like cleaned and gutted it. It looks like it's prepared, almost prepared for the meal for a meal.
Yeah, Logus will get some sticks together, fashion like a little, or some stones, and fashion like a little makeshift grill, and start slapping the meat on there.
Okay, yeah. As you're kind of carving all this up, go ahead and give me another survival check to see how well you carve up this beast.
That is another 17.
That's enough. You quarter up this beast just fine. You have some nice cuts that you have thrown out to be cooked over this open fire, and you can even add one doe skin to your inventory.
Yeah, so Logus would have, cut this up into enough where everyone gets a pretty hefty meat for dinner and get to work on cooking it.
Okay, as the stars kind of stretch out in the sky and night takes hold officially, so you guys are all helping yourself to some generous portions of venison. How do you guys proceed from here?
I think Glader's going to spend some time both cleaning his blunderbuss You're not firing off shots tonight because they're new territory. He's not trying to alert everyone within like 5 miles of their presence, but he's, cleaning it, getting used to like, testing, loading and reloading and uh, taking apart, putting it back together. And then he's also going to spend more time, rereading his divine healing book that he picked up at the library so long ago. Probably like the third time he's read it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Some of the arcane theories on divine magic are lots of thought fodder, perplexing, something to think about for sure.
Logus Owner once spent some more time with Buddy and about the alert, trying to get across the fact that I just want him to make noise to wake us up, that I don't want him to engage. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get him to try to understand that.
Okay, yeah, give me a handle animal check.
That is a dirty 20 again, 12 plus 8.
He accepts the command happily and takes it serious. Takes it serious. He sniffs around the entire camp, does kind of like a perimeter, and like a guard dog. You would see like a junkyard guard dog or something. He posts up and keeps a vigilant view over the entire party, entire campsite. He just kind of watches, listens, paying attention. He remains seated and ready, kind of guarding. He does let out a low growl occasionally at the squirrels that play in the nearby fruit trees when they get too close, but for the most part, he's just pants and wags his tail, happy to be part of the team, just looking out for everybody.
Chris will be sitting, staring at the fire, just kind of playing with that gem in his hands.
Locris, as you're kind of fiddling with this shard, this crystal you found, go ahead and give me another Arcana check.
Dirty 20.
That's enough. This shard, as you're kind of thumbing it and fiddling about, you don't know how you didn't notice it before, but there is a small silver chain connected to it. It looks as if this shard has been made into an amulet. This is known as the Dark Shard Amulet. Only attunable by a warlock. This amulet is fashioned from a single shard of a resilient extraplanar material originating from the realm of your warlock patron. While you are wearing it, you gain the following benefits. You can use the amulet as a spellcasting focus for your warlock spells. And also, you can try to cast a cantrip that you don't know. The cantrip must be on the warlock spell list. And you must make a DC 10 intelligence or arcana check. If the check succeeds, you cast the spell. If the check fails, so does the spell. And the action used to cast the spell is wasted. In either case, you can't use this property again until you finish a long rest. But this piece of Shadowfell just kind of like resonates with you, and you feel its power and what it could mean for why somebody would maybe want a piece of the Shadowfell realm or Drassic Revan if this is the kind of power it kind of bequeaths.
Yeah, he's just going to keep looking at it and studying it and kind of just drift off and daydream and it lost in thoughts.
So, as you guys kind of are posted up around the fire and the night presses on, is there any sort of watch you guys are going to set up, or you trusting that Buddy has got the guard situation handled, as he does not need sleep?
I would have sent, after when I see everyone's getting ready to bed, I wouldn't want Buddy to just be out there. I want him to be a part of the group until it's that time. I would have sent Tony off into the air, to perch up on the tree because she knows the same thing. And I would have sent Buddy, to just not go into the forest, just be like right on the edge and let us know if anything's coming. And he would only need him to do it, to help out whoever takes first watch because Logan only needs 4 hours.
I think Glader would stay up and take first watch with the mechanical pup. He was spending time, reading and polishing his blunderbuss non-suggestively. Anyway, oh, he would
I'll
have.
I'll join you.
Okay.
A lot running through the mind, so sleep would be hard to
Yeah.
come by.
Kind of wanted privacy to polish my blunderbuss, but it's fine.
Well, I promise I won't watch.
All right.
So as you guys, so who's doing watches, if anything? There, we'll break the night down into a bit of time there. But tell me how it kind of works out for you guys.
I'd imagine
It's, I was gonna
Gladier and
say, since you
Locris.
need 4 hours, I can take first watch if you want to get your 4 hours in and then take over. I'll join everybody else.
I think Gladier and Locris are already gonna take the first watch, and
Oh yeah,
Locris
fair
will
enough.
just got up.
Well, in that case, I'm
With
going
the
to
help
sleep.
of his animals.
Blade's already asleep at this point.
Blade is unaware, I think, that you guys actually take watch at night.
He has no
What you
idea.
guys? What is a watch? I pull out like the hour like sand like timer that we have. Is this the watch?
I mean, in Blade's defense, he did not sleep much last night, or that was it the night before. Anyways,
Or
within
both?
the last night or two, he did not get much sleep. So
Blade needs the extra 4 hours that Logus saves, so it still evens out,
all right. So who wants to take second watch? Locris, Glader, and Buddy, the mechanical dog, are taking first,
And Tony.
and Tony.
I think after that, Locris can stay up with his animals and hold it down.
Okay.
In that case, I think Renwick's just going to follow suit with Blade and be like, "Well, it looks like you guys have got this. I set up camp, so I'm gonna get some sleep." And he's just gonna soak up all the extra rest.
Okay, for sure. I guess, Logus, go ahead and give me some perception checks for your critters. And same with Gladier and Locris. Go ahead and give me some perception checks as you guys kind of post up on first watch.
So I know we haven't really. Do I just roll the? Do I just use the stats of a regular dog?
Yeah, he would just be a regular dog stats.
Natural 20 for 25 for Locris. I don't know why Avray is riding my dick so hard tonight. It's got me nervous now.
Very nice. What did you roll for your critters there, Logos?
Tony got a 14, 10 plus 4, and I'm not seeing anything for a dog. It just goes cat, cat, deer, There's a mastiff. Can I use that?
Yeah, that's a dog. Counts.
All right, so he just gets a +3. That's a 10. 7 plus 3, so 10 and 14 for my animals.
All right. So, well, for the most part, the dog gets a bit annoyed at some things that are rustling in the bushes, and though giving a low growl upon investigating, just kind of sends a rabbit tearing off through the underbrush. And a rabbit that Tony Hawk eventually takes off through the night and manages to pluck off for herself and is enjoying a bit of rabbit while the party sleeps, or most of the party rather. Gladier, you don't notice much, the crackle of the fire and the standard, the occasional blow of the wind will rustle some leaves, and maybe a creature kind of cries out in the night. But for the most part, it's standard woodsman things. And Locris, you being very astute, you notice that in the area where you guys have kind of set up camp, it looks like it was probably for sure used by other. It was not your campsite originally. Like somebody else camped here prior, and as you're kind of zoning out, looking about, you notice that there appears to be a bit of something shiny underneath one of the rocks in this stone circle containing your campfire. And as you kind of go to inspect, it looks like it is the corner of a box. You kind of move a few stones around, and you have stumbled upon what looks to be a buried wooden and brass box, just kind of buried next to this campsite.
I'd like to investigate it to see if it's trapped.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
I will attempt to open it.
As you open it, the lid flops wide open, not locked, not trapped. And what you see inside is looks to be like a top hat, except for a large portion of the top of this top hat looks to be like maybe it has been eaten away. Looks like maybe nibbled on by mice or maybe moths or something. But a portion of this hat seems to be deteriorated or chewed on rather. But it does look to be like a hat of like fine quality, aside from the bit of damage it's been taken.
I'll try it on my head.
It seems to fit, and not only does it fit, it's kind of like too big at first, but as you put it on your head, it fits sizes. It sizes itself and becomes snug.
Perfect. Then he'll go back to just staring at the fire with now a new hat on his head. And store the box in the bag of holding because you can always use a box.
Okay, perfect, yeah. Aside from that, your guys' watch is uneventful, and Logos does eventually stir, concluding his meditation.
I think after a minute, Glader would just kind of like look up and do like a double take at Locris. Where have you always had that hat? You haven't always had that. Where did you get that?
Gladiator, he's always had that head. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's always been on my head.
No, it hasn't. Did you just pick up a random hat off the ground?
Gladiator, no offense. I mean, you can hardly see your own hand in front of your face. He's had that hat on since we've met him.
Hey, he's a truth teller over there. I mean, I know you might not trust me, but him.
I don't
You know,
trust
Gladiator.
Logan either. All right, what? I'm just going to bed.
Wow,
Going to
Gladiator
bed.
really shows how much you pay attention to your friend.
He's gonna flick him off and then lay down in his bedroll and go to sleep.
You know, give it a little bit, and Logis will, you know, talk to Locus. You know, all jokes aside, where did you find that hat? You know, it might not be smart putting on a hat you found in the dirt.
Oh no, it's okay. It wasn't in the dirt. It was in a box.
That's even more weird.
Yeah, but what you gonna do? And then Locust
Ah,
is going to go turn in for the night.
right. Logis is gonna be like kind of weirded out, you know. And you can keep an eye on Locus through the night, see if he does any weird shit in that hat.
Okay, yeah, for sure. As you guys kind of sleep and Logos takes the remaining watch, go ahead and give me another perception check, Logos, for you and your critters as well, as you kind of keep a lookout, vigilant over the campsite.
So Logis would want to climb a tree, but he wants to get out of the light of the campfire to be covered in darkness. You know, maybe a tree where he can see everything, but you know, kind of away from the light. So it possibly, if someone can't see him,
All right, yeah, easily done with the plethora of trees in the area and you being very agile. You find a nice little nook not too far away from the campsite, so overlooking it as you get a good view of the campsite and the surrounding area.
So I was reading the Mastiff. They get I'm gonna have um they get advantage on perception checks that have hearing. So I'm gonna use that. Just have the dog kind of listen out, or smell, hearing and smell.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
That is a 6 and a 9, so 12 for the dog. Um, that's 15 for Tony, and then 24 for Locus.
With a 24 Logos, you do notice a plethora of kind of wildlife as you kind of stake out over this campsite. You see, foxes and raccoons and owls and various tree frogs and things like that. Kind of you don't get to see every day. You kind of realize you're surrounded by nature, and everything looks healthy and happy and capable. You're not seeing anything. You're seeing almost like the best possible specimen for these varying species. Like they're all very healthy, they're all very happy, and it's kind of like surreal. It's kind of a odd feeling. Kind of reminds you of home, being surrounded by so much nature. But essentially, the evening is uneventful for you as you kind of watch the squirrels and the varying birds and bees kind of come about as the morning light just touches the horizon.
So as everyone's waking up, Locus would try to go hunting with Buddy, and try to train him to catch like a rabbit, something small to, you know, try to herd it back to Logos and stuff like just trying to generally teach Buddy to, you know, help hunt or for him to catch food.
Okay, yeah, give me an handle. I fucked that up so bad. Handle animal check.
So 23, 15 plus 8.
Yeah, whether you're not sure if it was just like your training or the dog's natural instinct, but it does not take long before not only does the dog scare up a pheasant that wanders across your path that you can easily pluck out of the air with an arrow. As you go to fetch the pheasant, the dog itself has a pheasant in its maw and runs it up to you, wagging its tail happily.
Oh hell yeah! Logos is very proud. Scritches the dog, plays with him, and lets him hold his kill. Takes it back to the camp, and then Logos, while everyone's getting up and ready, kind of pluck and get the feathers off of him, and just tie him up to the side of his mount. That he has food later on.
Okay, yeah, for sure. And as you're kind of going about this, and the party goes to wake, a couple of things happen before everybody wakes up proper. We'll start with Renwick. Renwick, you find yourself in a sort of nightmare state. You are swimming in this giant black inky well, and no matter how hard you try, you try to climb out of this well, and the stones are all covered in oil, and though you can't quite get a grip, your fingers slip, and you can't quite manage to find a grip to pull yourself out of this well, and your tentacle hand, you look at it briefly, and you stick it to the wall, and it somehow manages to save the day, to kind of pull you through where you were not capable of getting out of the well with two regular human or halfling hands. It seems like your tentacle hand saves the day here. Renwick, in this moment when you're kind of reveling in your mutation or whatever you want to call it, go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Are we? Are we? Would I be conscious right now?
Not quite. Logos probably would.
Okay, then never mind. My aura only works if I'm conscious.
I got a 15.
With a 15, as you kind of pull yourself out of this well, it takes a bit of endurance. You have to hold yourself with your less than capable limbs, and as you pull yourself out of this well, it's almost as if the well is on another planet or on the moon. You look around, and there's just white rock, white sand in all directions. And what you thought was this like deep well you come crawling out of is a crater. And as you kind of look out into this vast, dark, like spacey area, you see a massive tentacle come reaching out from another nearby crater, and it is so massive that it overshadows you, blocking out you and whatever light source, perhaps the sun, and it comes crashing down upon you. And as this tentacle comes slamming forth, you are jolted upward, awake, and covered in cold sweat.
Yeah, I imagine he just like snaps to, like sits up, and he's panting, and he's soaked in sweat, and he's just like staring at his tentacled hand, but like in a weird way as he's staring at it, and it's kind of like writhing slowly. It almost calms him down with the way that he was able to kind of claw his way out using it. It's become this like weird dark comfort almost. And he just kind of like catches his breath and tries to regain his composure before anybody really notices.
Logos for sure noticed.
Yeah, Logos, you notice that Renwick is like looks like he's not sleeping easily. He's restless. He's tossing. He's turning. He's shuffling his feet. He looks to be in like covered in a cold sweat, like he's just like a glean of this like moisture seems to be coming out of him, and he's just like, yeah, you could tell that he is not sleeping well. He's mumbling and tossing and turning, like definitely not. And you notice similar effects with Locris. Locris seems to be tossing and turning and muttering in infernal in his sleep. And Locris, you during this evening, you see a familiar scene. You see Jurassic Revan, this silhouette of black smoking individual, no real features defined. And he is on one knee. His arms are outstretched to his sides as far as they can. These purple, glowing ropes of some kind seem to be binding him at the wrists, and they're off in some direction, attached to something you cannot see. And as you look at this smoking, hulking individual, just kind of looking down at the ground, you feel a lot of things. Fear, but mostly anger. And as you let that anger kind of bubble up, you see that you're kind of feeling the anger emanating from its source. And you see Jurassic Riven begin to struggle. And as he does, the ground shakes. You can't see the walls or the ceilings, but you can see massive shadows falling from somewhere high above to somewhere down below. Massive boulders shake loose and crash to the ground as Jurassic Riven struggles to stand. It shakes the entire realm, and as he cries out in rage, and you think something's going to give, something's going to break, the violent vibrations just seem to intensify over and over again. A third lash of purple catches your eye. This one, twisting, crackling bolt, comes down in the form of a whip, striking Jurassic Riven's back. And as he lurches backward in pain, so do you too. You feel the pain so intensely, so hotly, it shoots you awake in your bed. You wake up in a cold sweat in a similar manner to that of Renwick.
I imagine I wake up and let out a little yell in pain. And I just kind of look around.
As the party stirs, yeah, for sure. Logos, you definitely clocked that, yeah.
It seems that you warlocks here are having a bit of trouble sleeping. Anything you want to talk about, Locris or Renwick?
I don't know about for Renwick, but we're already working on the solution to mine, so I think just as we get closer, it gets more intense.
Do you dream of him in pain every night?
No, it's more recent. Hence my desire to push on. Safely to an extent.
You don't worry that he could potentially be manipulated. I mean, if he's giving you powers and someone is torturing him, I can't even begin to imagine how powerful that other person is.
Well, I don't know jack shit about the Shadowfell minus what I've been able to glean, and it's not much. It's a topsy-turvy of this world, so for all I know, I could be powerful there. It's just until I get an actual grasp of what's going on, all I could do is just go based on the information I've received so far.
Ishon, so I speak infernal with his mutterings. Would I have been able to pick anything up?
Mostly just the words. You kind of he might mutter a few things that he's thinking, as you catch like what the fuck, and Jurassic Riven, but for the most part he's not like verbally foretelling his dreams, but he's verbal enough with it where you can kind of somewhat piece things together. But you can tell that Locris is concerned about this Jurassic Riven and this Jurassic Riven person seems to be in danger, being harmed. You can tell Locust didn't get that good of sleep.
Renwick, what about you? Anything your dreams telling you that maybe we should know about?
I mean, if I'm being honest, there's rarely a night these days that I'm not having some form of nightmare, some form of terror. But last night was different. It felt real. I I don't know. It seems, I don't know if something's reaching out or speaking to me or what it might be. But the best I can glean is that I can draw power from this curse. And he kind of holds up his tentacles. And there's knowledge beyond what any mortal should know that I can draw from this. But it seems like if I draw too much from it, it could crush me. So, quite frankly, I don't know what to say. And he's just like, he's never really taking his eyes off his hand at this point because he's trying to grasp the weight of the situation. And he has been kind of leaning into like tapping this dark source of power. And this is the first time that I think he's really been shaken by the thought of going too far down this route and having it kind of rebound and crush him.
Yeah, Renwick, you get a sense as you're kind of like focusing on your tentacle hand and your curse that it's almost something that you get a sense that you may have to monitor. It feels like it's a give and take. Perhaps the more powerful you become in the sense of your warlock sense, you get a feeling that it's going to be hard to hold on to more pieces of your human form. You get a sense that it is possible that more of you mutates if you do not use your power wisely.
And Logos, you would probably clock with your perception. While he's staring at this tentacle hand, he does kind of reach up below his shirt and kind of palm the amulet that I believe Bo gave me. It was either him or maybe Headmaster Dorolf. But it's an amulet that basically alerts you guys when I'm like tapping into those Kraken powers. We had one made for Arthur and me, and it's always kind of been underneath my shirt. But I think in that moment, he's just kind of like holding that amulet.
Yeah, and after kind of waking up and collecting his thoughts, Locust is going to focus on that hat a little bit more and actually properly inspect it.
Okay, give me an Arcana check.
Oh, speaking of which, did anything weird happen while he was sleeping?
Not particularly. I mean, he didn't sleep well, but I don't imagine he slept in the top hat.
23.
With a 23, you kind of turn the hat over and you're looking at it, and you inspect the seams. You inspect how it just kind of seems to like magically fit to your head when you put it on. And it occurs to you that this is yet another kind of common magic item. It is known as the Hat of Vermin. This hat has 3 charges. While holding the hat, you can use an action to expend one of its charges and speak a command word that summons your choice of a bat, a frog, or a rat. The summoned creature magically appears in the hat and tries to get away from you as quickly as possible. The creature is neither friendly nor hostile, and it isn't under your control. It behaves as an ordinary creature of its kind and disappears after 1 hour or when it drops to 0 hit points. The hat regains all expended charges daily at dawn.
Hey, Logus, do you think Tony Hawk is hungry?
I'm sure she could do some hunting. She usually hunts on her own throughout the night. But I mean, if you got something, she'll eat it.
And then I'll reach into the hat and I'll pull out a rat and throw it at Logus.
It squeaks and squeals and tries desperately to leave the campsite.
Tony, those rats are kind of gross. I'll leave that to you. If you want to eat it, that's up to you.
You notice her perched in a nearby tree, eating the remnants of a fairly large rabbit that she had caught the evening prior.
So I'll just kind of tell her that and leave it up to her if she wants to chase down the rat or not.
She kills it, but doesn't necessarily plan on eating it. Catches it for fun, but as she sinks her claws into it, in a puff of smoke.
Do the rats come out like clean, or are they just diseased vermin as they are in the real world?
It's a rat. I don't know. But you probably pissed off Tony by offering food and now it's gone. That
Oh,
wasn't nice of you.
she's well fed. She's a good girl, right, Tony? I'll call her over, give her some jerky from my rations.
As you guys kind of come together in the morning, is there any morning rituals you guys need to knock out in particular as you guys are kind of mounting up and getting ready to make your way further south towards the city of Siluran?
Logus actually wanted to try to take a hand at trying to cure the doe skin so it doesn't just deteriorate in his pack. He wouldn't really. I mean, I'd imagine he'd have some knowledge of it as a wood elf. He would have took it out, let it dry out in the sun, cleaned it properly, and done all that. Since the last time he had skin in his bag, he just let it rot.
Yeah, you can take the time to, you pick up a little bit of ash and find a smooth stone and kind of work the hide and a bit of ash and water and even, I think, a small smattering of brain material from the doe is kind of how they would tan their hides back in the day. And yeah, you take the time to do so and make sure that your deer hide is not going to decompose so quickly like some of your last harvests.
He would have even left it off across the back of his horse if he needed to, so it gets some sun on it.
Okay, yeah, for sure. You can throw it over the rear haunches of the donkey you were traveling upon. So, as you guys kind of gather your things and begin making your way towards the city of Siluran through these magical woods, they are once again thriving with different wildlife and plants. You see these massive trees make up most of the wood, but there's like this shrubbery, this like thick, dense brush all around the roots, and smaller. Different species of trees even that grow at the roots of these massive redwoods. And as you guys kind of make your way near crossing bridges and babbling brooks and the tweeting of the birds and buzzing of the bees and whatnot, you guys kind of get used to the sounds of nature all around you. And the sun kind of filters through the leaves just right, and makes it a warm, pleasant day as you guys kind of travel forth. And travel for some time, and it is probably nearing the evening of your second day on the road when Logos, you're the first to notice with your passive perception. Suddenly, as you guys come around this next bend, silence. No birds, no bees, No babbling brook nearby, eerily silent. As you guys kind of perk up and pay attention, Logos alerting the party thusly, you guys kind of feel almost like a tension in the air as you guys kind of look about, keeping a vigilant guard as you move forward on this road. The dead silence almost echoes through the air. After coming around yet another bend of these massive trees, the party discovers a gruesome sight. A recent battlefield. The corpses of bugbears mingle with that of members of the Royal Guard. Many fell upon both sides. Many dead stags, known to be mounts of the Royal Guard, also litter the battlefield. Almost all of the elven soldiers and stags that remain seem to have had their heads removed. As the party stumbles amongst this gruesome scene, what do you do?
Logan sort of immediately wanted to like take stock and look around, um, for one, look around, see if there's anything around that causes, and two, try to determine if there's tracks in the floor to maybe see if I recognize maybe the bugbear tracks or if I can kind of try to determine what did this.
Okay.
Yeah, lookers want to investigate the scene also.
Vader's gonna just take a steady walk with his Elkin John, his mount, just kind of keeping a perimeter around Locus and Locus as they investigate, and holding his new javelin, the magical chain one, and holding an attack in case he sees anything hostile jump out.
Renwick's going to be on his mount, kind of running a perimeter around the battlefield, like inspecting to see if he sees anybody along the tree line or if he sees any tracks leading away.
Yeah, but I think Blade would probably be near like Gladiator looking around, maybe checking in the off chance that there was a survivor or anyone alive still.
Okay. We'll say you guys can either make your own investigation checks or give someone advantage if you'd like. So you guys can each make an investigation check or give the help action. And aside from the investigation check, Renwick and Logos, you guys are looking for tracks. So also give me survival checks.
Anybody have higher than 8 investigation?
I
Not
have
me.
a plus
Okay.
0 to investigation.
Can I do
Then
like a perception check to just keep an eye out on the surrounding area?
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead and give me a perception
Okay.
check as well.
Just
So
while
I'm gonna help Logus since we're both looking for tracks and running the perimeter. So I'm just gonna give him advantage on the survival and um, investigation checks.
Okay.
I also wanted to do the perception to kind of scan the tree line, see if I see anything.
All right. Makes sense.
And I'm gonna take out my sentinel shield that I have, and it gives me advantage on perception checks.
All right, excellent. So perception, investigation, and survival, basically running the gamut on the party. Go ahead and give me some rolls, gentlemen. Tell me what skill you're using and what the overall total is.
I got a 24 on investigation.
I got 24 on perception. And 23 on survival for looking for the tracks.
Uh, 17 perception for Glader. Keeping an eye out for any hostile forces that may still be lurking around in the surrounding area.
Okay, so Blade, I think. What'd you pull up on that?
17 on perception for Blade.
Okay, so you guys kind of take a good survey of the area around the battlefield. Nothing seems to stir. It's quiet, almost too quiet. Locris, as you're kind of going through some of the bodies, you notice a few things. One thing in particular, a tattoo on the ear of all of the bugbears. Every fallen warrior here has a tattoo similar to the one you guys had found prior in Ledlitten. It is in like this sort of drow language, something you're not fully familiar with what it says, but it has some sort of arcane properties, and it is slightly different than the tattoo that the tattooed ear that you guys had acquired previously. Aside from that, as you guys are kind of looking over the bodies seem to have like, you guys notice they have like subpar gear. The bodies of the bugbears, anyway. They have like this hide armor that's not particularly well made. They have these like giant morning stars that are chipped and rusty. They're not in particularly good shape. But what you do notice that kind of stands out is all of these bugbears have what appears to be brand new like slaver gear on their persons. Really well, like almost well oiled look, brand new looking chains, brand new looking manacles, brand new. It looks like a couple of like stainless steel like bear traps have even been found on a couple of these guys. Like they look to have been given some brand spanking new slaving equipment. And as you guys kind of look around the battlefield, you notice that the royal guard, all these high elves that have been slain, it looks like the ones that have been slain, all of their heads have been removed. And you guys notice right off the bat that there are about double the amount of mounts here, also with their heads removed. And but there are 2 mounts to every 1 soldier. And Logos, as you're kind of looking around for tracks in particularly, you find some. You find several sets of tracks that look to be dragging several heavy somethings through the underbrush and off of the road in a different direction into the wilderness.
So they're all going in different directions.
Oh no! Several different locations look to have dragged something with your guys' kind of high rolls and your investigations and things. It's pretty clear that the bugbears for sure won this fight, and whoever they did not kill looks to have been hauled off. There is several drag marks with bugbear footprints. Looks like several bugbears carried several large sacks of something away from this location. You can assume it was probably the other half of the elves that are not currently laying headless on the ground here.
How fresh do the tracks look?
Give me a survival check.
It's 26.
For sure, this was maybe 10 hours.
Okay,
This
so
happened about the same time you guys were stirring this morning. As it's probably late afternoon at this point.
can I take a look at the cut on the beheading? Was it like a clean cut, or did it look to be like crudely cut off from, something you'd expect from these bugbears?
Give me a medicine check.
That is a 14 total.
They don't seem to be consistent. It looks, some are clean, some are not so much. Others look like maybe they weren't cut off at all. Maybe they were just torn off, like brutally. It's quite the scene.
Uh, Gladiator, didn't you say the bugbears in the town had those weird purple tattoos as well?
I think later would kind of snap to after keeping intense focus on the surrounding area and just trot over on Elkin John to Logus and hop off. Uh, yeah, do these ones have tattoos as well?
Yeah, Logos will kind of point out on the bodies the ones that, had tattoos.
Looks like they recruited a whole lot of bugbears and all the slaver equipment. I think we can definitely confirm that Amorphous has his talons all over. Uh, he's gonna pull out his same parchment he kind of sketched the first tattoos on, and try and copy these down as well.
Okay, give me another sleight of hand check as you try to copy these ones down.
Oakley dokley. That one's worse than the first one. Sleight of hand. That's only a 7.
Unfortunately, it's a bit difficult. Your hand, for whatever reason, may be a bit shaky. Perhaps you're trying to draw it out on the mount, and the mount kind of takes a step or moves a bit. But you don't really make the best impression. It looks rough, to say the least.
Ah, shit. I always was a shitty drawer. Uh, you know what? I got a better idea. He's gonna hop off down off out the mount, uh, pull the dagger off of his hip, and cut off one of the ears of the bugbears that have a different tattoo than the one that he sketched already, or a different tattoo from the captain and the mage.
Okay, yeah. You find your way over to one of these bugbears and take yourself an ear, and the eerie purple marked tattoo seems to almost have the same flowing script, but is just a bit different than the ones that you've already collected. But now you have 2 ears with these odd purple tattoos on them.
Right. All right. Well, just insurance policy in case people can't read my handwriting. All right. So what the hell do we think is going on here? I mean, obviously, Amorphous is well, not obviously, but I mean, I think it's safe to assume he's enlisting the help from not only the bugbears but the drow in this area to get more slaves.
Well, they said they've been kidnapping people all across the country. This is probably how they're doing it. And by the looks of it, there's no survivors to tell the tale, which is why they think it's tieflings.
And it also points at it. They weren't just doing high elves. It seems to be elves in general. That fiefdom bugbear was pretty set on getting to me and kind of not really worried about y'all. Maybe it's a way for the drow to get back at the elves that live above ground. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it is strange that Amorphous is kind of not really particular. He's just looking for any kind of slave. I mean, there was the Dragonborn, my kind, all the various races of, predominantly halflings, but, there was other races in Borsland. But here it
I
seemed that they saw Logus and they just zeroed in on him because he was the only full elf blood in our party. So
I
that
don't
is
know
a
that
little
they
strange.
I don't know that they care. They might just be going after whoever. And Hordenshire is predominantly dragonborn, which is why you noticed it. Borsland was full of halflings, which is why it was noticed there. And here, I mean, if you're going after somebody rich, you're going after high elves. It's just a
Yeah, that's
great
fair.
way to cause distraction and discomfort.
I
But
mean, not to
besides,
mention if the bugbears in this area have been dealing with the high elves for a very long time, and then they get hired to, take in slaves and just lay waste to the people around here. I mean, logic would stand to reason that they'd go for the high elves. They've probably got a bit of a vendetta against them, so for them, they're getting paid to do what they wanted to do the entire time anyway.
but I'd say that the guards that were captured here, they're long gone. We're not going to find them and catch up. All we can do is push forward, and the sooner we get to where we're going, the sooner we can put an end to it. We've already pissed them off enough. Let's see if we can piss them off some more.
So I'm with you on that one.
Oh, I'm might not be with you on that one because I don't think we have pissed him off enough. I think we definitely have to piss him off some more.
Well, let's go see how much damage we could do.
Okay. Glader will hop
Um,
back up into his mount and get ready.
if we're interested in following these, see where they left. I mean, they don't got too much of a start on us. I could probably track them back to where they came from.
You said 10 hours. I'm
Oh
not
yeah.
going to track it through that forest for 10 hours.
Does it, Sean? Does it seem to be the drag march seem to be heading in the direction we were heading, or is it in a completely different uh, direction?
You guys would be following the road kind of southish. This is like a hard left turn. You're looking at a straight west or maybe even a straight east. But yeah, it's not in the direction of the city you guys are traveling to.
Yeah. All right. Well, guess we'll just keep on trucking.
Keep on keeping on. And then we'll mount back up and keep moving.
All right, as the party gets back on their mounts after kind of inspecting this like battlefield, they continue to travel on the roadway for a handful of hours before once again the sun begins to set. The orange crimson colors kind of take over the sky, and for the second day on the road now, the party has to make a choice. Do you want to press on through the evening or set up a camp? And tell me how you guys proceed from here.
About how far away from the city would we be?
At this point, you are, well, because you guys are on mounts, I would say you're roughly, if you push through the night, you would be arriving at Sillerin in the early hours of dawn.
Well, I'd say the smart thing to do is to set up camp again. I think it's better to enter the town probably closer to dusk than it is at the early morning at dawn.
We do run the risk of being set upon by bugbears again. Either way, they seem to attack in the morning. I mean, if we can make it to city by morning, maybe we'll be safer there than being set upon in the woods. I mean, so far both bugbear attacks that we've seen have happened in the early morning.
Anyone else have an opinion?
I mean, I can technically really take it either way. We're probably going to deal with something no matter which way we choose. It's just a matter of, are you tired now? Would you like to arrive in town in the morning so that everything's open? Do you want to get there at night so that we can get information from a tavern where there's going to be a lot of people? It's more about what time we want to arrive. Whatever's going to happen to us is going to happen to us. We can fight our way through just about anything at this point, so that I'm less worried about.
Well, I mean, I can see just fine in the dark, but some of you will be pretty limited.
I think everybody can see in the dark at this point. And his eyes kind of like go black for a second. And I'm pretty sure that Gladier got goggles back when I did, and I have an extra set of goggles if anybody else needs them.
Yeah, I got some fancy goggles now. I can see in the dark.
Congratulations.
I believe I have 120 feet of dark vision, and I can see through magical darkness.
Just like it was daylight, baby.
Well, I think I'm kind of on board with camping close to town before we go in and going in the morning. Because if we're close enough, we can see if any of these bugbears try and assault this town, we can kind of be somewhat of a first line of defense. They'll either notice us first and we can stop them from attacking the town, or they won't notice us and we can come in from behind and flank them and help out the town that way. I mean, either way, we're, trying to go to sleep, so doesn't make much of a difference to me if it's in a tent underneath a tree or in a tavern.
Any thoughts, Blade?
Well, if it were me, I think I would rather that we camp at night. Probably. I mean, I have the strength to go on if we want to go until we get close to town and then camp. But I feel traveling through the night's usually been pretty dangerous for us.
All right. Anybody have any strong opinions one way or the other? Otherwise, I'm going to flip a coin and leave it to fate.
I say leave it to the fates. Why not?
All right. Heads or 1. We keep moving. Tails or 2. We bunker down for the night. Keep on keeping on.
All right, as you guys decide to press on through the evening, you guys kind of make your way through the darkness, clipping and clopping. It's the Gigabraltar doesn't seem to mind the darkness, but the mounts don't necessarily have dark vision. So, are you guys? My main question to you guys is this: lights or no lights as you travel, and what is your marching order?
Since everybody's got the ability to see in darkness, I would say no lights to not attract as much attention. And then Logus would be taking lead as, the semi-navigator and the best, most perceptive. Maybe Gladier, Beefy Boy, can be up front with him.
I cast Daylight. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'll go up front with Logus.
And Renwick's got decent vision and 120 feet of dark vision, so he'll take the rear, or at least put Blade in the middle.
So I think we will need a little bit of light. While none of us have issues seeing, my horse will. And we want to make sure they're not stepping into holes in the road. So does anybody have like a dancing lights or lights cantrip that we could keep low to the ground, or a lantern that we can hang low and keep the light dim?
I have a ever-burning torch. It's not super bright. Let me double check. I think it's just a regular torch, essentially. It just doesn't stop burning.
Yep,
So,
correct.
Then I would say use that and just mark on the ground anywhere you see divots that could possibly break a donkey's leg. Because if you have to
Yeah.
put down Gibraltar, I think Blade might put you down with him.
Yeah, it's a regular torch, which is the same as what I have. It's bright light 20-foot radius, dim light 20 feet after that. So I mean, it's gonna show us a little bit, but like you said, I mean, we're not trying to kill our steeds. So I think if one person up front has it, I don't think I ever. Do I not have a regular lantern? I thought maybe I had a hooded lantern. I don't think I do though.
It's that, or we get off when we walk the horses so that we can actually steer them around. So we can then get away with no light, just slower going.
Yeah, no, I'll pull out the torch, just kind of leading the charge with Logus. Sorry, buddy, but we need a little bit of that, but at least it's not too much. And just kind of using Logus's good eyes and my torch, make sure that we're not breaking any ankles.
Okay, and as you guys kind of make your way through the darkness in this massive forest, the creaking and cracking of the woods as the trees sway to and fro, the occasional screech or scurrying critter off in the bushes of the night. As you guys press on and you continue forth towards Siluran, the night is a beautiful one. Despite you guys having your torches out, it's not entirely dark. The moon is high in the sky, and though that you can, through the breaks in the canopy, you can see these bright shining stars and things, and it is quite a pleasant night as you guys have this bit of torchlight up and make your way. The next little portion of your journey is, for the most part, uneventful. A few scurrying critters here or there, but for the most part, nothing worthwhile. As you guys press on through the night and on to the early morning hours of dawn, that is kind of when you see it off in the distance. Siluran, this trading community for the High Elves. It's located almost in the center of Brightwood, and it being so centrally located makes it a popular point for trade, travel, and meetings within the region. It being near a massive lake with plentiful resources also adds to the popularity of the area. Founded long ago by the elves, by and for the elves, as you kind of approach, you see these massive walls, these beautiful, almost like an off gray. They look clean and well constructed, almost new, as if it's like newly constructed. and these typical spires on these towers on these massive walls are topped with the blue tile colors that you guys have seen kind of in the other elvish communities. And as you guys kind of approach this area, it looks like, from what you could see over the walls as you approach, the inner city, it looks like it homes markets and different houses, and all with this like beautiful and intricate architecture that only the high elves are known for. And as you approach this massive, like kind of walled off city, it looks like there are many small communities that have sprung up outside the city, similar to what you guys had seen before in the other cities. Like most of the like structures around the city are, you know, probably made by men, less flowy architecture like the high elves have, but they're all like exceptional quality homes. High quality stones and woods and things have been used to kind of make this the homes in this buildings and in this region. So as you guys kind of approach this area, this Silurin city on a lake, towering walls and guard towers surrounding it, you see a lot of guards, a lot of like royal guards, these elves in full plate armor, going to and fro. A lot of them seem to be traveling atop the ramparts of these big walls and things, and you know, there's easily a dozen or so guarding the front gates, which, you know, occasionally looks to be screening people at the front gate. There's a kind of a long line. It looks like there's a bit of a process to enter the inner city proper. But like I said, all around Silurin on the outside, these small communities have kind of sprang up, almost creating like another city altogether. Many inns and taverns and markets are sprinkled amongst these like many different neighborhoods. You notice like the docks on this big lake. These docks hold some fishing vessels that are out and doing their thing early in the morning. And though the outer city appears to be vastly less wealthy than the inner city, the buildings, you know, like I said, are all of superior make and very clean looking, as are the streets. And yeah, as you guys kind of approach, with, you know, you guys kind of feel the tiredness in your muscles and even your mounts as dawn creeps over the horizon and you guys approach the city. You guys have been on the road for, you know, 24 hours or so straight. You're feeling the cost of this type of travel, but the beautiful architecture of the city of Silurin is just kind of almost breathtaking. Like, it is, we're talking like 30-foot massive walls, and on the other side of these walls you can see like spires of these like blue tiled buildings, and you know, it's definitely a sight to behold. And yeah, as you guys kind of approach, tell me what you guys do from here.
Curse is going to go to whichever way gets him near his neighborhood. If there's this like a side gate that's usually used.
Okay, yeah. Locris kind of takes point, as it is like his hometown. As you guys make your way in to the surrounding areas, the hustle and bustle of the city kind of takes over a bit. Locris, and as you guys kind of make your way through the districts, you come to one that appears to be old ruins from eons ago. The city looks to be like currently built upon. In this district, as you're kind of walking through the neighborhoods, you get to one that's not as fancy. The materials here seem to kind of remind you of like the outskirts of Ledlitten. Not like homes proper. More, you know, in some cases just thatched roofs with four corner posts, and in between the four corner posts there's like a hammock. And you know, you guys notice that this neck of the woods is not only like a poorer district, but it's built on like these old ruins that the city looks to be built upon. So occasionally you see broken moss-covered archways, stone spiral stairs to nowhere, the crumpled remains of once glorious statues and fountains all kind of dot the outer eastern walls of Silleran. And, it is here that a community of primarily tieflings thrive. You guys notice that in this neck of the woods, it seems to have a high concentration of tieflings. They don't seem to be not well liked or trusted by the other communities. This one is mostly left to fend for itself. You do see a smattering of other races that don't seem to mind rubbing elbows with tieflings. This particular area seems to consist of many, many tieflings. As you make your way through a series of homes that seem to be constructed using the local ruins as sort of like base infrastructure, can be seen. Makeshift walls of wood or cloth can be seen filling the holes with many of the crumbling partially standing structures. Candles and torches and fireplaces can be seen lighting these interiors. And you eventually make your way to what appears to be two large concrete pillars that have fallen next to one another, partially buried but parallel. Atop it appears to be like an A-frame style roof of wood and thatch. A small stone chimney puffs a stream of white smoke. A large makeshift wall connects these two downed pillars with a door at its center. This wooden makeshift wall and door look to have possibly been like part of a ship at one point in time, just placed here for convenience. A small stone mailbox with the name Levistian. How do you say your last name, Locris?
Levestian.
Levestian. This a small stone mailbox with the name Levestian hangs from the wall just to the right of this doorway. And that, I think, gentlemen, here would probably be a good spot to put a pin in our adventure for the time being.
Yes.
I thought your name was Locris Levenstein for a little bit. Like, it's a very Jewish last name.
Levestein.
Hold on, so like this was like a domicile outside of the city, right?
Correct.
It's in the ghetto.
It is in what the as far as the elven community goes, it seems like the mortal races get pushed to the outer outskirts, what is known as often as like the slums. It's a similar case here. Looks like this community of tieflings is on the outskirts of even the outskirts of the city.
Okay, gotcha. I got distracted for a second, and then I thought like we were kind of moved through the outskirts, and this was like the a weird jump in my fucking ADD brain. But I thought like, oh, this is the mailbox to the city, and his last name is on it. I was like, wait a second. Is he like the fucking lord of this town? And then I was like, no, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that was his backstory. He's like, I rule all this shit and fuck those guys.
Okay, so yeah, outskirts of the city, we found his. Okay, gotcha.
But yes, it would appear that Locris has led you all to his family home.
Oh, do we get to meet mom and dad, Locris?
I don't know. Did Sean kill him?
To be
That's
fair,
a very fair question.
it's like a 50-50 hit rate. They might be dead. Who knows?
That's right.
At least one.
Let's see if he'll go 3 for 3 on killing parents. Well, actually, I killed my parents with my backstory, but
Killing family in general.
I am not Disney. You guys are the ones writing tragic backstories, okay? I have no problem with a happy family, okay?
Is
I
it
just
tragic?
love it.
I'm just looking for my dad. You could have wrote it like Hunter x Hunter, where he's out there being badass, and I just got to be worthy enough to find him. I hope he's not dead. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, it's going to come down to a roll of the dice, but if you wrote like a parent being like an adventurer in your backstory, I mean, sometimes bad shit happens to adventurers, man,
Dad can't be dead because then I have to give him the sex dog. So you need to keep his dad alive.
You got to gain some levels so you can get that resurrection spell,
True resurrection.
If Logus is dying, you have to give him the talk before he dies.
That's like one of Logus's last requests is that he wants the straight details from what was going down in Blade's room the other day, like verbatim.
We're going to be sitting around a table talking, and all of a sudden Locus is going to be like, well, how were her breasts? It was like 2 bags of sand.
Oh, me so horny.
Oh, you want to go full 40-year-old version.
Jeez.
Yeah, I will say I went and dived through Tasha's and Xanathar's and went and fiddled with some of these common magic items, and man, they're fucking pretty great. Some of them I've sprinkled a lot of them into these elven communities, so some of those minor items are really fun. I think I don't know.
Oh yeah, they'll be a blast to play with.
Yeah, I'm excited to use the javelin, especially for I mean, Chris wasn't wrong. My fucking ranged damage is little to none right now. So, yeah, non-existent. So, having a javelin that I could potentially pull someone right up on me, so I can melee attack. That's sick. I like that javelin. I'm excited to use it.
Is the javelin a strength-based one, or is it dexterity?
I think it's a finesse. I think doesn't it go either way, or I forget.
I'm pretty sure it's dex, which is the only downside because my dex to hit modifier is so small.
I thought javelins were strength based because when I play barbarians, I usually use javelins over bows and stuff because they can just hurl them.
Oh
I could be wrong though.
You're right.
It's just thrown.
To hit.
It's not a finesse, so yeah, you just need to throw it.
Yeah, no, you guys are both right. Yeah, it is. It's strength based. Fuck yeah, that makes it even better. Because I was like, this is super cool, but it's dex based, so I'm gonna get a fucking +1 to hit. Nope.
You don't have to be sexy to throw it. You just fucking chuck it at somebody.
I was already working it out. Like maybe Logus could chuck it and hand the chain off to you.
I mean, yeah, if we had to, if it was dex based, that would be a good idea. No, I'm even more excited now that I know that it's strength and not dex. Hell yeah.
I want to see you use it on a guard that's on the edge of a cliff and you just pull them off. That's how I envision it in my head.
That's even better than pulling them toward me so I could punch them in the face.
Well, that's how that guy did it.
Fun with that.
Yeah.
Pulled me off the roof of a building.
Oh yeah.
Well,
it's a great session, Sean.
Hey, thanks. Well, fellas, I appreciate it. Keep in touch, man. Let's do this again sometime soon.
Oh,
sounds good, fellas.
Yeah. So for next week, we're meeting as usual.
Yes.
Correct.
Will you be back in town by then?
Yeah, I will. Yep.
All right. Cool.
And then the 27th, Will said he was out of town, so we're doing a one shot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who's taking point on that one shot?
Yeah, I'm curious to know as well. I don't know what we have. Who's doing what one shot? I mean, we have plenty of options, I think.
And put me as a
I still
maybe for
need-
that for
Sorry.
the 27th.
What was that?
I said put me as a maybe for the 27th. I'd have to see what we're doing that week.
Yeah, I'm a maybe too. Like I said, I have a wedding my girlfriend and I are going to on the 29th. And it's in Georgia. So it's like we're driving there. So it's only like 3 hours away. But I cannot remember if we're leaving the 28th or the 27th. So if we leave the 28th, then I can still play the normal D&D on the 27th, and I'll run that one shot that I was going to do a couple weeks ago that I had planned. So I'll let you guys know definitely before next session if I'm going to be here.
If not, I have an idea bouncing around in my head I can throw out, and we'll just use level 8 characters. So
Yeah.
everything you put out, we'll just carry over to my one shot. That way, everybody has their character pre-made, regardless of which story they get thrown into.
Yeah, no, that
Okay,
works
yeah.
great. Yeah, because mine's level 8 too. So, but if everyone else is cool with it, I'm also fine with Chris, you having your wife's friend come in for that session.
Oh yeah, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't be here with Will if we were being dicks about who plays in our game.
Yeah, like I think we trust the group as a whole. Like you're not gonna bring in anybody that's gonna be a murder hobo dickhead. Like you're these people are vetted.
Well, so far the character he wants to try, he made for another story that never got off the ground. But in the form of Terry, it's kind of a cleric with an HMO. You gotta pay a copay to get healed.
I like that. That's
It
An
fits with our play
extortionist cleric
style.
sounds really
yeah.
funny.
It's basically a televangelist.
All right, so
Leave
yeah.
it to a bunch of nerds to involve shit like insurance in fucking D&D.
That's 15 gold copay for heals.
But I mean, he plays the game with Monica, and he took his name after Captain Jack Harkness from the Doctor Who series. So,
Oh, he watches Doctor Who, so he's nerdy.
Yeah.
I'm almost caught up on Doctor Who.
Oh, it's a great show. I love
Yeah,
it.
don't backtrack now. No, I love that show.
I think he was just recognizing himself as really nerdy.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'll let you know about the 27th if I'm going to be here sometime
Yeah.
this week.
Everybody just keep up in chat. If anything, we could always try to push it to like the Sunday after or whatever, give everybody a chance to get back and get settled. But we'll figure something out.
All right, sounds good, fellas.
Okay,
All right,
guys.
take it easy, boys.
All right,
Take
thank
it
you.
easy.
Later.